Hi, 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 hello. Hi, hi. Goddag, goddag, goddag. Good day, hello. This one is a little more formal, right? As you can see. You don't say it to your friends, that would be weird. But it's okay to say in a more formal context. Goddag, goddag. Hello. Hello. Hello, hello. Hi, hello. This is on the phone, like when you pick it up, you're like, hello. Right? You can say it in a nicer way. You can also say it in real life, but then it's more like you want to draw attention to something like hello. Like, so it can sound a little bit rough. Be aware of that. Yeah. Hello. Hello, hello. Yeah, the classic. Velkommen. Velkommen. Welcome. Welcome. Right? Kind of like in English. Velkommen. Yeah. Velkommen. Alright. Godmorgen. Godmorgen. God morgen. Yeah. Good one. Good morning. Godmorgen. 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 God formiddag. God formiddag. Yeah. So god formiddag is like good late morning. That might sound weird to you, but it's kind of like in the hours between maybe 10 and 11, 11:30, something like that, right? Because 4 is like før, right? So like pre-lunch or midday, because it's between morning and lunch. God formiddag. Yeah. Alright. God eftermiddag. God eftermiddag. Good afternoon. Yeah, pretty straightforward. God eftermiddag. God eftermiddag. God aften. God aften. Good evening. God aften. God aften. God aften. God aften. Godnat. Godnat. God nat. Good night. Godnat. Now, of course, in real life, it's gonna have more intonation because, people might be in a certain mood, or they have a temperament, or there's a vibe. But yeah, this is how it's pronounced. Godnat. Godnat, godnat, godnat. Beautiful. Moving on. So godt. So godt. Sleep tight, or literally sleep well. And godt is like well. So godt. So godt. So godt. Yeah. Cool. Hi. It's always so funny to say this out of context. Hi. Hi. Bye. Right? This is the most common way to say goodbye to someone. Right? Like if you know them, hi. Although some people might just say hi. Right? It depends. So, hi. Bye. Ses or vi ses. Vi ses. Vi ses. Vi ses. Vi ses. Right? See you. This V is of course we, like we will see each other again. And this S, I think that's the ending of this verb. That is not a mistake. That is how we say it. Vi ses. See you. Farvel. Farvel. Goodbye. Right? Farvel. And just like in English and many other languages, we don't say this all the time. Because that would be weird, because it sounds a little bit permanent, or a little bit heavy. So, just in some scenarios. Farvel. Whoopah. You have this one. Tak. Tak, 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 tak. Tak. Now you have heard this before. I know you have. Of course you have. Right? So this is of course thank you. Tak. Yeah. So short and easy. Mange tak. Tusind tak. Mange tak. Tusind tak. Thanks a lot. Right? So the difference here is that mange tak tends to be a little more formal. Not like distance or anything, but just, somewhat more formal. And then tusind tak there's more emotion in it. Like that's what you would say to a friend or someone you know well. Yeah, tusind tak literally means 1,000 thanks or 1,000 thank you. Yeah. Mange tak. Tusind tak. Nice. Tak for hjælpen. Tak for hjælpen. Thank you for the help. Thank you for the help. Right? Yeah, that's like a literal translation. Sort of like, thank you for helping me. Tak for hjælpen. Like, the help. Tak for hjælpen. Alright. Selv tak. Selv tak. Selv tak. You're welcome. Right? So this is like thank you yourself, or whatever you want to translate it as. Selv tak. And we don't really pronounce the V like selv tak. That's unnatural Danish. Selv tak. We have more ways of saying you're welcome. Here's another one. Det var så lidt. Det var så lidt. You're welcome. It's kind of like, it's nothing. Like, it's no big deal. Eh? Det var så lidt. Det var så lidt. It was so little. Yeah, like don't mention it. Det var så lidt. Det var så lidt. Nice. Tak for mad. Tak for mad. Thank you for the food or meal. This is mainly said after a meal. So if someone gives you a banana, you wouldn't say tak for mad. Or a snack or candy, that wouldn't be appropriate or normal. So after a meal, like you ate it, someone else cooked. Tak for mad. Tak for mad. Nice. Velbekomme. Velbekomme. And this is like you're welcome about food. It could also be other situations, but it's especially used about food. Like you say tak for mad, and then the cook or the chef says velbekomme. Right? Someone might also say this if you're eating and then they walk by and they're like, oh, okay, like enjoy the meal kind of thing. Velbekomme is used like that. Very useful. Nice. Undskyld. I'm sorry. Right? Undskyld. It's a very good one. Yeah. Undskyld mig. Undskyld mig. Undskyld mig. Excuse me. So it's very similar. You just add the mig here. Undskyld mig. Cool. Jeg beklager. Det beklager jeg. Jeg beklager. Det beklager jeg. I'm sorry or my apologies. This one is more formal. This could be in a maybe business context or anything where you want to be a little more detached, like it's not so personal. I could say this. Beklager is sort of like you regret it, right? Beklager. Jeg beklager. You'll see it a lot in formal context. So like I'm sorry, my apologies, however you want to translate it. Alright, moving on. Det er okay. Det er okay. Det er okay. It's okay. Like that. Yeah. Det er okay. And you probably noticed at first I said it like det er okay. Sort of like this middle word er isn't pronounced. And that is a common thing in Danish that we we can kind of skip some words, and you can do it when you get to a higher level, but just be prepared that the way we speak it fast and the way we speak it slow, well, they're very different. So, pyt med det. Pyt med det. Pyt med det. Pyt med det is like, it's okay, don't worry about it, like, don't sweat it. Sort of like, yeah, whatever. Like, pyt med det. Pyt med det. Ja. Ein. Det går nok. Det går nok. Det går nok. Yeah. Det går nok. It's like, it'll be okay or fine. It'll be alright. Right? Literally, it goes probably, or it'll probably go. Like, it'll be fine. It'll, not be a problem. And this could be when someone has apologized and you're like, that'll be okay. Or maybe there's a scenario that someone is worried about. Maybe they're anxious and nervous. And then you could be like, det går nok. It'll be okay. Like, don't worry. Yeah. Very useful. Det går nok. Yeah. Very basic. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah is our keyword here. Yeah. And of course, if you say, yeah, that's kind of like, yeah. And kind of hear in people's tone what they're trying to say. Nej. Nope. That's what it means. No. Nej. Kind of like in German. I know you say nein. And we say nej. Yeah. Alright. Måske. Maybe. Alright. Little like may happen. Like måske. It may happen. Sort of like in Spanish puede ser. So that's kind of cool. Måske. Maybe. Selvfølgelig. Of course. Yeah, there's a difference here. I'm sure you noticed, because like selvfølgelig and then selvfølgelig. The slow way, we almost never say that in real life, but I have to tell you as a teacher, just know that there's a difference. In real life, we speak pretty fast. Selvfølgelig. Kind of like that. Alright. Selvfølgelig. Det ved jeg ikke. Det ved jeg ikke. Det ved jeg ikke. I don't know. Like that I don't know. I don't know that. Also very useful if you don't know something. Det ved jeg ikke. Awesome. Hvad så? Hvad så? Hvad så? Hvad så? What's up? So what? Then what? Now I have to explain a little bit here. And so the way you say it is sort of like the D, the soft D here is usually not pronounced. So I could put an apostrophe, a little up here, like hvad så, hvad så. And it can be a greeting. So you have to kind of read the situation, and like someone walks up and they're like, hvad så? Like, what's up? But it can also be like, so what? In that case, you're usually going to have an O right here. Og hvad så? And then what? Or then so what? Yeah. But it could also be then what? And like you're telling a story and then what? Then what happened? Yeah. Hvad så? So you have to read the situation, but it's very useful. Yeah. Hvad så? Okay, something else that's very basic and it's good to know. Jeg hedder. Yeah. My name is, of course. Jeg hedder, whatever your name is. Right? Jeg hedder. Nice. Mit navn er. My name is. This is like the literal one. Mit navn er. My name is. because the last one was hedder, which is a verb, and sort of like in German you have that too, like ich heiße or whatever. So this is like my name is, in a different way. But most of the time in real life, you're not gonna say that. You're just gonna like maybe kind of point at yourself or something. You're gonna shake someone's hand and then you say your name, right? So this is just for educational purposes that you're learning these. Hvad hedder du? Or hvad hedder du? Hvad hedder du? What's your name? Right? So this is a question. Hvad hedder du? Hvad hedder du? Hvad hedder du? What's your name? And age, this is just an example. Jeg er 25 år gammel. Jeg er 25 år gammel. 25 years old. Of course, you can just put another number in here. And if you don't know numbers well, then I suggest you check out my video about that. I made it back in February. Like numbers in Danish. It's a very good one if you're basic. Jeg er 25 år gammel. 25 år gammel. Gammel, that means old. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Hvor gammel er du? Hvor gammel er du? Hvor gammel er du? Hvor gammel er du? How old are you? That's a good one. Hvor gammel er du? Hvor kommer du fra? Hvor kommer du fra? Where do you come from? Right? Like that. Hvor kommer du fra? Hvor kommer du fra? Jeg kommer fra any country. Ikke? Jeg kommer fra, it could also be a city or an island or whatever you want to say. Jeg kommer fra, I come from, alright. Jeg bor i på, I live in or on. Now, of course, prepositions, that can be a different matter, but jeg bor i, like a country or city, or på could be like the name of the street, or an island, for example. Or if you live on a rooftop, if you're like that. So, jeg bor på, yeah, and then just insert the name of the city or the country. Alright. Hvor bor du? Og hvor bor du? Hvor bor du? Hvor bor du? Where do you live? Hvor bor du? Yeah. Cool. Hvordan går det? Hvordan går det? How you doing? Or how's it going? Right? Very, very useful. Hvordan går det? Yeah. Hvordan går det? Det går godt. Det går godt. It's going well, or I'm doing well. Det går godt. Det går godt. Det går godt. Det går ikke så godt. Det går ikke så godt. Det går ikke så godt. It's not going that well. It's going kind of bad, actually. Det går ikke så godt. Det går ikke så godt. Jeg er glad. Jeg er glad. Jeg er glad. Jeg er glad. I'm happy. Jeg er glad. And this is a feeling, so you can just say jeg er and then any kind of feeling here if you're sad or tired or upset or whatever. And we'll actually get to that in a second. Now you have this one right here. Jeg er ked af det. Jeg er ked af det. I'm sad or upset. Jeg er ked af det. Okay. Ked af det. It's kind of long. I know. Jeg keder mig. Jeg keder mig. I'm bored. Jeg keder mig. Jeg keder mig. Jeg er sulten. Jeg er sulten. I'm hungry. Jeg er sulten. Jeg er sulten. A lot of repetition here. Pay attention and repeat if you can. Jeg er tørstig. Jeg er tørstig. I'm thirsty. Jeg er tørstig. Jeg skal have noget vand. I got to some water. Jeg er tørstig. Like that. Hvad med dig? Og hvad med dig? If we speak very fast, then this dig becomes like da. And it goes on like that. Hey, hvad med dig? Don't experiment with that yet. That's more if you're at the higher level. Hvad med dig? How about you? And like, are you also thirsty or whatever? Like you just said something about yourself and then you want to check on the other person. Hvad med dig? Okay. Jeg fryser. Jeg fryser. Jeg fryser. I'm freezing or I'm cold. Right? Now this doesn't have to mean that you're really freezing, like it's really cold, but just that you're kind of cold and it's uncomfortable. Right? Jeg fryser. Like that. Mm-hmm. Jeg sveder. Jeg sveder. I'm sweating. Jeg sveder. It's a good practice here, right? The soft D. Sveder. Sveder. Okay. Jeg er klar. Jeg er klar. Jeg er klar. I'm ready. Ready for what? I don't know. Can be any situation. Jeg er klar. Klar, klar, klar. Alright. Jeg er spændt. Jeg er spændt. I'm excited or psyched, like about something. Ikke? Oh yeah, kind of like that. Jeg er spændt. Jeg er spændt. Okay. Jeg glæder mig. Jeg glæder mig. Jeg glæder mig. Jeg glæder mig. Kind of like that. If you say it fast. I'm excited or looking forward to it. Now, this is a little bit different. I mean, it kind of overlaps with jeg er spændt. Jeg er spændt is like you're more psyched and pumped up. Where jeg glæder mig has emphasis on the thing that's coming and that future thing you're looking forward to. So, they're a little bit different. Jeg glæder mig. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Jeg er lidt nervøs. Jeg er lidt nervøs. I'm a little nervous. Jeg er lidt nervøs. You see how it's similar to English, like nervøs. You'll see this a lot. There's a lot of words that are similar to English, but still different. That's the key. Gotta remember that. Held og lykke. Held og lykke. Held og lykke. Good luck. Now the translation here can be a little bit funny because held means luck and lykke means happiness. So it's like luck and happiness. Well, anyway, this is what we say. And this is how we wish someone good luck. Held og lykke. Yeah. Held og lykke. And then we're getting poi poi. Poi poi. Now, I don't say this so much myself, but there are some people who do say it. Poi poi is like good luck or all the best, and like to a specific situation, maybe something that's challenging, like that. Some people will say it. Poi poi. Knæk og bræk. Knæk og bræk. Knæk og bræk. So this is like good luck, like break a leg. Like maybe something that seems kind of risky or dangerous or yeah, it's sort of uncertain. You could say that, knæk og bræk. It doesn't mean break a leg, but it does mean sort of like break and break. We have many different words for breaking in Danish, and these are just two of them. Knæk og bræk. Funny. Prosit. Prosit. Prosit, prosit. So this is like bless you or God bless you after someone sneezed. Right? That's what we say. Prosit. Yeah. I don't know, it sounds kind of Russian or something, but this is what we say. Tillykke. 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 Congratulations, congrats, whatever. Tillykke. Tillykke, tillykke. That's a good one to know. It'll make you popular. Tillykke med fødselsdagen. Tillykke med fødselsdagen. Tillykke med fødselsdagen. Happy birthday. That's a long one. Fødselsdagen. But that is birthday, ikke the birthday. Yeah. Tillykke med din fødselsdag. Oh, even better. God jul. God jul. God jul. Merry Christmas. Yeah. God jul. That's right. Yeah, just like good Christmas, eh? God jul. You always say glædelig jul, actually. I could include that too. God jul, glædelig jul. Godt nytår. Godt nytår. Happy New Year. Eh? Godt nytår. Very nice. God weekend. God weekend. Yeah. You could also say hey and god weekend, but most of the time you're not gonna hear that hey. That's kind of rare. Most of the time we're just gonna say god weekend, god weekend, good weekend. Ha en god dag. Have en god dag. Have a good day or a nice day. Ha en god dag. Could be different context here. Exactly. Fortsat god dag. Fortsat god dag. Fortsat god dag. Have a continued good day. That looks weird. I know the translation is like, continued? But that's because it's fortsat is something that has continued or is continuing. Like your day is already good, and then the person hopes that it'll still be good, continues to be good. This is usually what you hear in shops. Like if you're in a supermarket, they'll say this, or they'll say god dag. It depends. I lige måde. I lige måde. You too, or like right back at you. Right? This is nice. You can also say tak i lige måde. You don't have to, but it's common. Ikke? Tak og i lige måde. Tak i lige måde. Or just i lige måde. You too. Yeah. Alright. Fit. Fit. Great. Awesome. How you want to translate it? Super duper. Fit. Fit. It literally means fat, like grease. But this is how we say it. Fit. Okay? Sådan. 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 So many different intonations you can use here. Sådan. Like, there you go. That's it. And like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the right way. Sådan. Sådan. Er det rigtigt? Er det rigtigt? Er det rigtigt? Is it true? Really? This is a very common one we say when we're sort of not believing something. We're like, really? Er det rigtigt? Virkelig. 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 Really? We use this one too, but we use the previous one more, definitely. Virkelig. Mener du det? Mener du det? Do you mean that? Mener du det? Ja, det gør jeg. Hvad mener du? Hvad mener du? What do you mean? Hvad betyder det? Hvad betyder det? Og hvad betyder det? You can play around with the stress. What does that mean? Hvad betyder det? In Danish, we have two words for mean. One is mener, and another one is betyder. And I'm not gonna cover that right now, but I'm just telling you, we have two words, so don't be surprised. Hvad siger du? Siger du? Hvad siger du? What are you saying? Or what do you say? Could actually be both situations. Hvad siger du? Hvad siger du? Very useful. Hvad er det? Hvad er det? What's that? Like you point at something, you're like, nej, så det. You don't get what it is. Hvad er det? What's that? Hvem er han? Hun. Hvem er han? Hun. Who is he or who is she? Hvem er han? Hvem er hun? Og hvem er du? You can put any personal pronoun. Hvem er de? Hvem er vi? Who are we? La la la. Very useful. Hvem er? Who is or who are? Hvorfor? Hvorfor? Why? Hvorfor? 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 Hvordan? 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 How? Like in what way? Hvordan? Hvornår? Hvornår? When? Hvornår? Hvornår? A little too fast there. Hvad laver du? Hvad laver du? Hvad laver du? Hvad laver du? What do you do or what are you doing? See, this one can be used in different kind of context. It could be like, hey, what are you doing right now? What are you up to? But it could also be, what do you do in life? Like, do you study? Do you work? Are you collecting bird bones? And whatever. Så, hvad laver du? Yeah, it's a very useful one. Very good to know. And lad os gøre det. Lad os gøre det. Lad os gøre det. Let's do it. Let's do it. Lad os gøre det. Beautiful. Det er en god idé. Det er en god idé. Det er en god idé. That's a good idea. Det er en god idé. Ja, det er. Hvad synes du? Hvad synes du? Hvad synes du? What do you think? Or what do you think? Hvad synes du? Yeah, and this is about opinion. Giv mig et øjeblik. Giv mig et øjeblik. Giv mig et øjeblik. Giv mig et øjeblik is give me a moment. Giv mig et øjeblik. Ja. Vent lidt. Vent lidt. Now this is wait for a bit or wait a bit. Like very useful. Vent lidt. You can use this a lot. Okay. Kom nu. Kom nu. Come no. Come on. Like you are hurrying or you wanna, you want someone to hurry. Come nu. Yeah. Skynd dig. Skynd dig. Skynd dig. So hurry up. Hurry. Skynd dig. Beautiful. Altså, vi har ikke hele dagen, og jeg har ikke hele dagen. Vi har ikke hele dagen. I or we don't have all day. Just like in English, don't have all day. Vi har ikke hele dagen. Awesome. Jeg har travlt. Jeg har travlt. Jeg har travlt. I'm busy. Jeg har travlt. Travlt. You can practice that. It's a good one. Yeah. And then what? Jeg har ikke så meget tid. Jeg har ikke så meget tid. The så meget can be taken out. I don't have that much time. Or I don't have time. Right? Så meget is like that much. Så meget, that much. Jeg har ikke så meget tid. This is a very common one. Maybe it's an excuse, maybe it's true, but it's definitely used a lot. Yeah. Okay. Jeg er på arbejde. Jeg er på arbejde. Jeg er på arbejde. Of course, I'm at work. Arbejde. That's the key word here. Jeg er på arbejde. Okay. Hvad er dit arbejde? Job. Hvad er dit arbejde? Job. What's your job? Right? Hvad er dit arbejde? Job. Like that. Okay, cool. Jeg arbejder som... I work as a something. Jeg arbejder som... Yeah. Cool. Det er snart weekend. Det er snart weekend. It's snart weekend. It's soon weekend. Like weekend is near. Det er snart weekend. Alright. Det er fredag i dag. Det er fredag i dag. Fredag i dag. It's Friday today. Fredag. Wonderful. Jeg har fri i dag. Jeg har fri i dag. Yeah. I'm off today. As in you have a day off. Free is like free. So literally I have free today. Yeah. Jeg har fri i dag. That's nice. Jeg slapper af. I'm relaxing. Right? That's the word here. Slappe af is to relax. Yeah. Jeg slapper af. Cool. Alright? Jamen, jeg taler i telefon. I'm talking on the phone. Right? Jeg taler i telefon. Cool. Alright. Jamen, hvad er dine planer for i morgen? Hvad er dine planer for i morgen? Hvad er dine planer for i morgen? What are your plans for tomorrow? I know this is a long one, but it's actually pretty easy when you look at it. Hvad er dine planer? What are your plans for i morgen? For tomorrow? Hvad er dine planer for i morgen? In real life, people are going to say it a lot faster than me, so be prepared. Alright. Skal vi se en film? Or wanna watch a movie? Or do you feel like watching a movie? Skal vi se en film? This is a very common way of asking someone. Like say you and your friend, and you want to casually suggest something. You can be like, skal vi? Right? So skal literally means like shall. But it's also an invitation. So yeah, similar to English, like shall we? Yeah. Skal vi, and you can use this with a lot of things. Yeah. Skal vi something, something, something. I'm gonna give you some more examples now. Skal vi drikke en øl? Skal vi drikke en øl? Skal vi drikke en øl? Wanna drink a beer? Selvfølgelig. Of course. Skal vi drikke en øl? Yeah, that's how it is. And this one. Skal vi bestille noget mad? Skal vi bestille noget mad? Wanna order some food? Wanna order some food? So, yeah, I want to say that, of course, this is a delivery, right? Or takeout, depending how you want to call it. But this is like you're at home and you want food to be brought to you. You wouldn't say it in the restaurant. I mean, you could, but it would be unusual. Så, skal vi bestille noget mad? Right? Nice. Okay, this is a little bit different, but still in the area of like things you want to do. Hvad har du lyst til? Hvad har du lyst til? Hvad har du lyst til? Yeah. So this is like, what do you feel like? As in, what do you feel like doing? What are you up for? What are you in the mood for? Right? Because lyst is like, like lust in English, but of course that's weird. So in this context, it's more like want or desire. Right? So like tener ganas or something in Spanish. You have the desire. Hvad har du lyst til? And then you can say a million things, like jeg har lyst til whatever, right? Like this one. Jeg har lyst til, whatever it is, right? So I feel like having. So I'm not gonna go super deep in this video because this is a lot of phrases, but suffice to say that jeg har lyst til, you can add the thing after it, like chokolade, øl, whatever it is. That's the thing you want to have. But if it's something you want to do, like an action, a verb, then you need to say at. Ikke? Jeg har lyst til at. And then the verb, jeg har lyst til at spise, jeg har lyst til at danse, jeg har lyst til at sove. So that's just a little side note here. But I have other videos that talk about that in more detail. So, jeg har lyst til something. Ja. Alright, næste. Jeg kan godt lide, I like. What a long way of saying I like, huh? If you haven't seen this before, you're like, oh. But yeah, it is what it is. Så, jeg kan godt lide. I like something. Og jeg kan ikke lide. Jeg kan ikke lide. Which is, of course, I don't like. Right? Ikke. Jeg kan ikke lide. And yeah, we don't really pronounce the D. I mean, we don't. So it's basically like L-I apostrophe. And that's kind of how you say it. Lide. Jeg kan ikke lide. Yeah. Nice. Moving on. Jeg kan også godt lide. Jeg kan også godt lide. I like something too. Right? So your friend likes something, you're like, yeah, I like that too. So jeg kan også godt lide whatever. Now the gut is not always strictly necessary, but when to use it and when to omit it, that's going to be a longer explanation. So for now, you can just say gut whenever, right? And you'll be fine. Jeg kan også godt lide. Yeah, like that. Alright. Jeg kan heller ikke lide. Jeg kan heller ikke lide. So this is, of course, I don't like something either. Right? Jeg kan heller ikke lide. Heller ikke is either or neither, or neither, whatever. So yeah, like a negative. Alright. Det og den bedste er. Det, den bedste er. So we're talking about preferences, and you're talking about your favorite, the absolute best one, like number one. And then you say, den bedste er, or det bedste er, depending on what kind of noun it is, of course. Right? Bedste. Or you could also say about yourself, like, jeg er den bedste, I'm the best, if you want to brag or something like that. Oh yeah. Bedste, bedste, bedste. Cool. Hvad er klokken? Hvad er klokken? What time is it? Hvad er klokken? So this is like literally, what is the clock? I always found that funny when I was a kid. Like the Danish and English versions, how they're so different. But hvad er klokken? That's how we say it in Danish. Hvad er klokken? And then you can answer in two ways. You can say den er, or you can say klokken er. Whichever is fine. Den er, klokken er, den er, klokken er, something something, eh? It's something something o'clock. Yeah. Alright. Den er 2. Den er 2. 2. And I wrote it in different ways here. So you have the number. And then you also have it over here in military time, because, you know, we use that in Denmark. Instead of AM, PM, we use the military time, eh? So 24 hours. So this is, of course, in the afternoon. But most of the time, we're still going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. It's not so often that we say the military. It's more something we write. But you will hear examples of military time also being pronounced. So just, you know, stay alert or whatever. Or whatever. Okay, next one. 3:30. 3:30. Right? Or 3:30. This can be annoying, and I've had videos about this before, and I see in the comments where people are like, no, that's wrong, Tom. It's like, no, it's not. That's how we say it in Danish. Right? So 3:30 is 3:30 or 3:30, because it's between 3 and 4, and it's halfway there. Right? So it's like 3.5, which means 3:30. Yeah, maybe that takes some time getting used to, but it is what it is. 3:30. Ah ja. Nå, skal vi se. Har vi 5:15. 5:15. 5:15. Right? Or 5:15. 5:15. Yeah. That's kind of easy when you think about it. 5:15 beyond. Right? Then you say, det er sent. Det er sent. It's late. Det er sent. And a little tip here as far as pronunciation goes. Please don't say sent. Like the English, oh, I sent it. Like I sent a letter or something. No. Sent. Sent. Right? Because sent, that is a Danish word, the pronunciation, but that has a D in there. Like you sent something. You sent a message. But this is sent. This is late. Sent. Alright, you got it. Then you say, det er tidligt. Det er tidligt. It's early. That's the opposite. Tidligt. It's kind of like the English timely. I guess that's kind of formal business English, like in a timely manner or timely fashion. But the Danish is similar to that. Tidlig, timely. Beautiful. Det er snart morgen. Det er snart morgen. Det er snart morgen. It's morning soon or it's soon morning. Right? It's pretty straightforward. Det er snart morgen. Yeah, just look at it like that. Det er snart morgen. Okay. Hvordan er vejret? Hvordan er vejret? How's the weather? Hvordan er vejret? You can see I'm trying different intonations here because people can say it in different ways. Hvordan er vejret? Cool. Move on. Det er varmt. 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 It's warm. Now, varm is actually both warm and hot, so you have to guess it from context. Ja, det er varmt. Det er meget varmt i dag. Det er meget varmt i dag. It's very warm or hot today. Det er meget varmt i dag. Now we do have a word for hot specifically in Danish. It's a hed or hit, H-E-D-T or minus the T. But a lot of the time when you're talking about the weather or touching a frying pan that's hot, you would say varm. You don't say hed. Although there are some compound words where you use a lot, like a hedebølge, a heat wave, a hed to hot flashes. So there are some. But generally speaking, just go with varmt or varm most of the time. Yeah. Alright. Det er meget varmt i dag. Det er koldt. Det er koldt. It's cold. Okay, and that sucks. Det er koldt. Yeah, so that's pretty straightforward here. Right? Nothing much to say. Det er virkelig koldt. Det er virkelig koldt. Og virkelig, but we almost never say that in real life. Det er virkelig koldt. It's really cold. Right? Now, there are many ways of saying that it's really cold, of course. This is just one of them. It's just a very common one. You might also hear det er super koldt, eller ej, hvor er det koldt. Det er virkelig, virkelig koldt. Different variations like that. You know, everybody has their own style. Det er virkelig koldt. Okay. Det regner. Det regner. It's raining. Yeah, it's not so good. Det regner. Alright. Det begynder snart at regne. Det begynder snart at regne. Det begynder snart at regne. It'll start raining soon. Okay. We also say sometimes det trækker op til regn. But that's just another way. Det begynder snart at regne. Regnen er stoppet. Regnen er stoppet. The rain has stopped. No more rain. Regnen er stoppet. Just like that. This is a present perfect, in case you don't know. Regnen er stoppet. Beautiful. Det sner. Det sner. It's snowing. Sner. Sner. That's how it is. Vi fik meget sne. Vi fik meget sne. We got a lot of snow. Right? Like it was snowing a lot, it was heavy, and there's a whole layer of it. Vi fik meget sne. Yeah. Okay. Er den allerede smeltet? Er den allerede smeltet? Has it already melted? Now, of course, I didn't say snow here, sneen, but we get it from context. Although it could also be something else, right? Whatever you have that can melt. Er den allerede smeltet? Wonderful. Det, now, maybe I should say here, there are two ways of saying it. You could say vinden blæser, or you could say det blæser. Most of the time it's just det blæser, and that's fine. You don't actually have to say it's the wind. We get it. Det blæser. Vinden blæser. Det vinden blæser. So yeah, blaze is to blow. Right? You'll also see it in some other context, like some stream of air particles, like could also be a blaze. Right? Some concerts or whatever. But yeah. The key here is that in Danish we don't use the adjective. In English you do. Windy, that's an adjective. But in Danish we use the verb. So that's very important. So don't go looking for like, det er blæsende, which is technically an adjective, but we don't say that much. So do the natural way, the Danish way, not the Google Translate way. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Det blæser virkelig meget. Det blæser virkelig meget. It's really windy, or it's really blowing a lot. Det blæser virkelig meget. Alright. And then you say, Lad os blive indenfor. Lad os blive indenfor. Let's stay indoors or inside. Same in this case. Lad os blive indenfor. So again, this is this lad os, or lad os when you say it fast. Let's do something. Lad os blive indenfor. Okay. Lad os gå ud udenfor. Lad os gå ud udenfor. Let's go out or let's go outside. Lad os gå ud. Lad os gå udenfor. Præcis. Ja, det er dejligt vejr. Det er dejligt vejr. It's lovely weather. Now, if you've been studying Danish for a while, you already know dejlig. You know dejlig is like lovely, lovely, nice, great, wonderful, just a lot of positive things. Dejligt. Right? Det er dejligt vejr. Exactly. Alright. Solen skinner. Solen skinner. Solen skinner. Sun is shining. Yeah. Skinner. Solen skinner. That's how it is. Jeg soler mig. Jeg soler mig. Yeah. I'm sunbathing. Yeah. Jeg soler mig. It's nice, huh? You can turn that into a verb. Soler mig. Okay. And then you get han blev solbrændt. Han blev solbrændt. He got sunburned. So that's the same as in English. Brændt, burned. Brændt. Han blev solbrændt. He got sunburned. Yeah, det er ikke så godt. It's not so good. Moving on. Okay, so this is a compliment. Du har en god farve, kulør. Du har en god farve, kulør. You have a good color or tan. Now, I should say that this is in case someone got a tan, like they went to the beach on vacation or something, and then they have a nice tan. You don't really say it about people's natural original skin color. That's just kind of weird. Right? And kulør can only be about that. The word for skin color, if you want to talk about ethnic groups, is hudfarve, H-U-D, hud, skin, right? Hudfarve. But that's a different matter. I just want to give you a little heads up here. So, kulør, that's the word. Farve, kulør. Du ser godt ud. Du ser godt ud. You look good. Yeah. Du ser godt ud. Now, this could, of course, mean a lot of different things depending on the context, but that's more a matter of social intelligence. Eh? You'll know when you're in the situation. Du ser godt ud. Okay. Du er en god ven. Du er en god ven. Du er en god ven. If you want to say it fast. Du er en god ven. You're a good friend. Du er en god ven. Coolio. Vil du hjælpe mig? Vil du hjælpe mig? Vil du hjælpe mig? Will you help me? You could also translate it as do you want to help me? Same in this case. Vil du hjælpe mig? Vil du hjælpe mig? Notice how I don't really say my completely, because I say it fast. I say it native speed. Vil du hjælpe mig? So much being cut. Learning is fun, isn't it? And then hjælp. Now you can say hjælp mig, or you can just say hjælp. Of course, if you just say hjælp, that could sound like help, like emergency or something very urgent. Hjælp mig could also sound like that, but usually less so. Again, tone of voice. You get it. Hjælp mig. Hjælp mig. Help me. Yeah, but this is what you can say, like if you're in the street, and you have something happen to you, something bad, and then you can say hjælp. Although, of course, you can always say help. Everybody speaks English, but we understand. Or if you hear someone else say it, if you witness someone being in some kind of accident or needing help, needing assistance, rescue, whatever, then you can get what they're saying. And wow, what a sound. And you can be the hero, right? So, you get it. Alright. Politi. 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 Police. Right? Politi. Yeah, this is just like a very short sentence, because in those situations, who has time to form a long sentence? Politi. Moving on. Er der nogen, der kan hjælpe? Er der nogen, der kan hjælpe? Er der nogen, der kan hjælpe? Is there anyone who can help? Yeah, now this looks kind of long and maybe confusing because you have der 2 times, but this one is like there, and er der is there, and this one is who, so different meanings. Er der nogen? Is there anyone? Der kan hjælpe? Who can help? Right? Er der nogen, der kan hjælpe? Beautiful. Okay, so this is a little less urgent. Vil du være sød at... Vil du være sød at... Vil du være sød at... Would you please? Now we have different Danish ways of saying please. We don't have just one word. This is a very common one. Right? Can also use it with people you already know. Or you can just say please. I mean, some people don't like it, but hey, we use it sometimes. Please in a Danish sentence. It can happen, definitely. Alright. Okay. Jeg vil gerne bede om... Jeg vil gerne bede om... Jeg vil gerne bede om... It's like I'd like to have or ask for. Literally, I would like to ask for. So this is when you want something and you want to be polite. So you don't want to say, hey, giv mig, like give me, or jeg vil have, I want. Instead you say, jeg vil bede om, or jeg vil gerne bede om. Right? Or må jeg bede om. You could also say that. So like, may I ask for? It's very polite. And yeah, you can use it in some restaurants, with co-workers, or if you're meeting some new people, like girlfriends or boyfriends, parents, something like that. But again, we're not like obsessed with politeness and etiquette in Denmark. Just be cool and a good person and you'll be good. That's the truth that they won't tell you. It's all good. Alright. Okay, different style. Jeg har et problem. Jeg har et problem. I have a problem. Jeg har et problem. Straightforward. Hvad er problemet? Hvad er problemet? Og problemet. What's the problem? Hvad er problemet? Okay. Jeg ved ikke, hvor jeg er. Jeg ved ikke, hvor jeg er. I don't know where I am. Oh, that's bad. Jeg ved ikke, hvor jeg er. Right? Jeg ved ikke. I don't know. That's like the main part you want to remember here. Yeah. Jeg kan ikke finde... Jeg kan ikke finde... I can't find... Whatever it is. Biblioteket, supermarkedet, stationen. Right? And of course you also have your own responsibility to learn Danish vocabulary that you can put, that you can attach to the end here. Jeg kan ikke finde... something. Okay. Hvor er? Hvor er? Hvor er? Where is? Again, something, eh? Some place. Hvor er? Yes. Er du faret vild? Er du faret vild? Er du faret vild? Did you get lost? As in, have you lost your way and you don't know where you are? Er du faret vild? Yeah. It's like to fare wild, like you're in the jungle and oh my god, you're somewhere where you don't know. So, er du faret vild? That's how it is. Okay, and then they help him. Du skal gå lige ud. Du skal gå lige ud. You need to walk straight ahead. Du skal gå lige ud. Lige ud is straight ahead, right? Yeah, or just straight. Lige ud. Okay. Du skal dreje til venstre, højre. Du skal dreje til venstre, højre. You need to turn left or right. Whichever. Venstre, sorry, venstre, left, højre, right. Cool. And then assuming they already added something, or you already added something, something ligger der. Something, whatever, ligger der. If something is or literally lies there, that's the location of whatever you're looking for. Ligger der. Yeah, ligger means lies. So this is also what you say when you're like on the couch or whatever. Oh, jeg ligger bare her, stop by. I'm just like relaxing, lying down. So yeah, that can be a little bit funny. But we say that, ligger, about locations, also countries and stuff like that. So yeah, cool stuff. Okay, so let's say we're in the supermarket. Jeg skal købe et. Jeg skal købe et. I need to buy an. And no, there's no connection like, oh, en is a and it is an. No, it's not like that. That depends on whether it's en or it noun. And so it's the noun it depends on. It's actually, well, it's more difficult than English, I have to admit. It can take some time to learn. But there is a majority of nouns that are connected to en. Some say 60 or 70%. So when in doubt, just guess that. And you might be right. Jeg skal købe et something. Sælger I også? Do you sell as well? So they're selling some things, but you want to know if they also sell this. Sælger I også? Can always hope. Hvor meget koster den her? Hvor meget koster den her? How much is this? Literally, how much does it cost? That's how we say it. Hvor meget koster den? Og den her, this one. Hvor meget koster den? Tager I kort? Tager I kort? Just tager. Do you take credit card? Now, it doesn't say kreditkort in Danish. That would be the full version, but it's pretty rare that someone says kreditkort unless they need to clarify something. Just kort. Kort is fine, on the card. So, tager I kort? Yeah. En pose, tak. En pose, tak. One bag, please. I could also say en pose, so then this en would be like a bag, not one bag. But that's a minor difference. You can say both. They have the same meaning in this case. En pose. Just one. Tak, please. Alright. Kvittering. Receipt. Right? Now, you might think this is rude. Why is it only one word? But that's because we want to save time, right? So we get it. This is what the cashier is going to say to you most likely. Kvittering. They might say, skal du have en kvittering? Eller vil du have en kvittering? Har du brug for en kvittering? Something like that. I have another video about that, some shopping phrases. You can check it out here on the channel. But most of the time, they're not going to talk so much, so don't worry about it. Kvittering. Ja, tak. Ja, tak. Yes, please. Ja, tak. That's how it is. Or, nej tak. Nej tak. No thank you. Nej tak. Alright, so a little bit about the Danish language. Forstår, taler du dansk? Forstår, taler du dansk? Do you understand or speak Danish? So we have two different verbs here, depending what you want to say or what you're gonna hear. Forstår, taler du dansk? Ja, jeg forstår, taler dansk. Ja, jeg forstår, taler dansk. Yes, I understand or speak Danish. I know that, of course, sometimes you can understand without being able to speak, but yeah. You'll see how it goes. Jeg forstår, jeg taler. And then, nej, jeg forstår, taler ikke dansk. Nej, jeg forstår ikke dansk. Nej, jeg taler ikke dansk. And of course it's funny I say it so fast, because you'll never say that fast if you can't speak. But anyway, så nej, jeg forstår, taler ikke dansk. No, I don't understand or speak Danish. Ja. Jeg forstår lidt. Jeg forstår lidt. I understand a little bit. Right? Lidt. That's a little bit. Or a bit. Jeg forstår lidt. Beautiful. Det er et svært sprog. Det er et svært sprog. It's a difficult language. Well, what isn't? Et svært sprog. Svært is difficult. I'm sure most of you already know this. Svært. Okay. And then the last one. Undskyld. Kan du gentage det? Undskyld. Kan du gentage det? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Undskyld. Kan du gentage det? Gentage is repeat. Right? This is actually very common. When something starts with gen, it's like re or re of something. Right? You'll see that a lot as you are progressing with your Danish. Gentage. Repeat. Beautiful. Jeg er nødt til at gøre det. Jeg er nødt til at gøre det. I need to do it. Or like, I have to do it. Right? Jeg er nødt til at gøre det. Jeg har ikke noget valg. Jeg har ikke noget valg. Or valg, but nobody really pronounces that G. I don't have a choice. Jeg har ikke noget valg. Nej. Det er ikke op til mig. Det er ikke op til mig. It's not up to me. Nej, it ain't. Det er ikke op til mig. Jeg overvejer at gøre det. Jeg overvejer at gøre det. I'm considering doing it. Or thinking about. Right? Overvejer at gøre det. Alright. Synes du, jeg skal gøre det? Synes du, jeg skal gøre det? Do you think I should do it? Synes du, jeg skal gøre det? Altså, hvis jeg var dig, ville jeg... Hvis jeg var dig, ville jeg... And then whatever, right? There's a version here with ville. So if I were you, I would, whatever the action is, just put something in infinitive. Hvis jeg var dig, ville jeg... Something. Alright. Jeg foreslår, at du... I suggest that you... Again, some action, but in present tense. Right? It's important. Jeg foreslår, at du spiser, sover, gør det, husker something, any verb. Jeg foreslår, at du... Alright. Det er værd at overveje. Det er værd at overveje. It's worth considering. Det er værd at overveje. Du behøver ikke gøre det. Og du behøver ikke at gøre det. The at is optional. Du behøver ikke at gøre det. You don't have to do it. In Danish we have many words for have to or need to. This is just one. Behøver. Du behøver ikke at gøre det. Nej. Har du taget en beslutning? Have you made a decision? Har du taget en beslutning? Yeah, that's how it is. Jeg har besluttet at. I've decided that or to. Because it can be both a verb or a situation coming after. Right? Jeg har besluttet at. Nice. Du gjorde det rigtige. Du gjorde det rigtige. You did the right thing. Du gjorde det rigtige. And yeah, notice that I don't say den rigtige ting. That is unnatural. Right? Det rigtige. That is how you say it. Gjorde det rigtige. Oh yeah. Jeg er stolt af dig. Jeg er stolt af dig. I'm proud of you. Jeg er stolt af dig. Stolt. That's such a great word. Stolt. Jeg respekterer dit valg. Jeg respekterer dit valg. I respect your choice. Respektere. That's a good one. Jeg respekterer. Alright. Jeg har gjort noget dumt. Jeg har gjort noget dumt. I've done something stupid, or I did something stupid, but literally I have done. Jeg har gjort noget dumt. And yes, there are many ways in Danish of saying that you did something you shouldn't have. We'll get to that another time, more in depth. Jeg har gjort noget dumt. Det skulle jeg ikke have gjort. Det skulle jeg ikke have gjort. I shouldn't have done that. This is nice. This is why I say it's intermediate, because it's a little more, it's not really advanced, but it's a little more complex than the basic stuff. Så det skulle jeg, there's a version. That should I not have done. Right? Det skulle jeg ikke have gjort. Yeah, so we got the present perfect here. Like that. Okay. Jeg fortryder det. Jeg fortryder det. I regret it. Fortryder. Right? Very nice. Så har du lært det. Så har du lært det. Then you learn that. This is a weird translation in English, I'm sure. But we do say this in Danish. The reason why I make this in cursive, det, I don't normally do this, but that's because we always have the stress or the emphasis. Well, you learned that. Okay, you did something wrong or you made a mistake, but you learned that lesson at least. Så har du lært det. But again, my videos are not enough, so go out there, if you're in Denmark, like listen to people when they talk, you're going to hear these things. And you're going to get a more natural feel for how it all sounds. And it's awesome, even though it's cold. Nå. Man lærer sine fejl. Man lærer af sine fejl. You learn from your mistakes. It's the same as in English. Man lærer af sine fejl. Alright. Det er menneskeligt at fejle. Det er menneskeligt at fejle. It's human to fail. Yeah, so menneskeligt is of course the adjective. Human, as in that is a typical human thing to do. Yeah. Menneskeligt. Det er menneskeligt at fejle. Alright. Op med humøret. Op med humøret. Cheer up or chin up. Like, don't be depressed, don't be sad. Just like, hey, it's okay. Op med humøret. Yeah, literally up with the mood. Yeah. Op med humøret. Okay. Lad os se fremad. Lad os se fremad. Lad os se fremad. Let's look forwards. Right? Fremad is like forward or forwards. Fremad. Lad os se fremad. Jeg trænger til en ferie. Jeg trænger til en ferie. Jeg trænger til en ferie. Right? Need a vacation. Another word for need. Trænger til. Jeg trænger til en ferie. A little pronunciation warning here. Don't say like ferie or something like that. That's gonna sound quite bad. Just say ferie and you're good. Jeg trænger til en ferie. Alright. And then you say, hvor skal vi rejse hen? Hvor skal vi rejse hen? Hvor skal vi rejse hen? Where should we travel to or go? Right? So hen is sort of like to when you're going to a destination, although it's not that simple, but you'll learn that as you keep studying. It's used a lot when we're talking about going places. Hen. Hvor skal vi gå hen? Something like that. Alright. Jeg har altid drømt om at opleve. Jeg har altid drømt om at opleve. Always dreamt about experiencing something, right? So this could be whatever, something you want to do, or maybe it's a castle or whatever. It's om at opleve, and then whatever it is. Ja. Jeg har altid drømt om at opleve something. Alright. Har du nogensinde været i, have you ever been in or been to? And so when I say I, that usually means that it's a country. Well, country's always I, right? Or it's a city. But if it's an island, then I would say på. And so that's for another lesson. Well, I already covered that in I and på. You can check that out. Yeah. Now, this is assuming you're talking about a country or a city. Har du nogensinde været i... Den og det skulle være noget helt specielt. Det skulle være noget helt specielt. It's supposed to be something really special. Right? So this is like when you heard about something, it's rumored or it's claimed to be something special or whatever. Then you say skulle være. Right? It's like supposed to be, should be. It's very good to know. Yeah. Okay. And the reason why I have both den and det, that's because I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know if you're talking about an ein noun or an it noun. Right? So that depends what you're talking about. You have to be aware of the noun you're using. So yeah, of course you don't have to say den or det. You could also say the thing itself. Right? Museum or whatever. Yeah, could be a lot of things. Alright. Der er så mange steder, jeg gerne vil se. Der er så mange steder, jeg gerne vil se. There are so many places I like to see. Kind of long one. Der er så mange steder, jeg gerne vil se. Awesome. Hvad glæder du dig mest til at se? Hvad glæder du dig mest til at se? What are you the most excited to see? Or what are you looking forward to the most? Right? Glæder is like, well, at glæde sig til is to look forward to something or to be excited. Yeah. And mest is of course most. Hvad glæder du dig mest til at se? Like that. Alright. Vi rejser i næste uge. We're going or traveling next week. Yeah. Vi rejser i næste uge. Right? Næste uge. Okay. Husk at købe rejseforsikring. Husk at købe rejseforsikring. Remember to buy travel insurance. Oh, I guess that's kind of boring, but oh well. Husk at købe rejseforsikring. Oh, that's a nice little R practice there. Rejseforsikring. Okay. Hvor længe skal I være der? Hvor længe skal I være der? For how long are you going to be there? I, like notice I say I and not do, because it's assuming you're traveling with someone. So I is you guys, and ustedes, like that. Oh, another touchy. So, and then it says, en uges tid. I en uges tid. For about a week. So this uges, and that's sort of a possessive, but really you can just remember that en uges tid is like about a week, right? So maybe it's 6 days, maybe it's 8 days, but roughly a week. Yeah. En uges tid. Plejer du at få jetlag? Plejer du at få jetlag? Do you usually get jet lag? And yeah, we use the English word jet lag. We just don't have a Danish word for it. Or if we do, it's so archaic. Jet lag. Plejer du at få jet lag? Plejer is so useful because it's a verb that means usually. Right? Now that might sound weird from English perspective, but that is how we do it in Danish. Plejer. Right? Yeah, det plejer jeg at få. Yeah, I usually get that. Alright, cool. Det bliver en lang flyvetur. Det bliver en lang flyvetur. Og flyvetur. It's gonna be a long flight. Flyvetur. Little like flying trip. Right? Tour. Flyvetur. Jeg er forberedt. Jeg er forberedt. I'm prepared. Yeah, klar. Godt at vide, jeg er klar. I'm ready. Eh? Og forberedt is like you have prepared something. Or prepared yourself. Jeg er forberedt. Alright, cool. Alright, now we're shifting a little bit. Jamen, jeg er blevet inviteret til fest. Jeg er blevet inviteret til fest. I've been invited to a party. Jeg er blevet. Oh, what is this? This is passive. Jeg er blevet, og jeg er blevet. Both are okay. Jeg er blevet inviteret, invited, til fest, to a party. You don't have to say en fest. Just fest will suffice. That's enough. Yeah. Jeg er blevet inviteret til fest. Det er sådan, det er. Alright. Jeg elsker at møde nye mennesker. Jeg elsker at møde nye mennesker. I love meeting new people. Right? It's pretty straightforward. It just looks long, but it's really simple. Jeg elsker at møde nye mennesker. And yeah, you could also say folk, nye folk, but it's just very common to say mennesker. And so the literal translation of mennesker would be humans, but we use it like you would use people in English a lot of the time. Okay. Jeg kender ikke nogen her. Jeg kender ikke nogen her. I don't know anyone here. That kind of sucks. You just look around and everybody's a stranger. Jeg kender ikke nogen. And notice that it's no one and not know it. Like it doesn't end with a T, because that would be something, but this is someone, right? Or anyone. Jeg kender ikke nogen her. Alright. Hvordan kender du? How do you know? Like, how did you get to know someone? What's your story or your history? Hvordan kender du? Yeah. And then they might say, vi arbejder sammen. Vi arbejder sammen. Vi arbejder sammen. We work together. And you could also say vi kolleger og kollegaer, but this is just one way of saying it. Vi arbejder sammen. We work together. Yeah. Alright. Vi mødtes til en fest. Vi mødtes til en fest. We met at a party. Yeah, again, fest. And notice that this is S. That's kind of rare in Danish having this S when it's not passive, but we do have them. Ses is another one. Like I'm sure you heard this a million times in Denmark. Vi ses, ses senere, like see you. But mødtes also has S here, even though it's not passive or anything like that. Vi mødtes til en fest. Moving on. Hvad hedder din kæreste? Hvad hedder din kæreste? What's the name of your boyfriend, girlfriend? And yeah, I know I kind of became lazy here, BFGF, but you get the meaning. Eh? Kæreste covers both. It's gender neutral, you could say. Hvad hedder din kæreste? Hvad hedder din kæreste? Alright. Han, hun virker meget. Han, hun virker meget. He or she seems very... Now, of course, this might look a little strange out of context, but imagine you're talking about someone that you don't know, but you're sort of telling people whatever your impression is. Eh? So she seems very, or he seems very... Yeah. Han virker meget, hun virker meget. And then whatever adjective. Eh? You can put any adjective you want. Han er lidt genert, er han ikke? Han er lidt genert, er han ikke? He's kind of shy, isn't he? Yeah. Er han ikke? Sort of an addition here at the end, because it's more natural. Han er lidt genert, er han ikke? Yeah. Genert, that's a great word. It's kind of I call it like the French G, because it's je sound. We have it with some words that start with G. Sometimes even in the middle. Right? Genert. But it's still, it's a minority of G words. Okay. Jeg skal have en øl. Oh yeah. Jeg skal have en øl. Jeg skal have en øl. I'm getting a beer, or I gotta get a beer. Same. You could say either way. Right? Jeg skal have en øl. Selvfølgelig. Juleøl, nisseøl. 'Cause it's December. Hvad drikker du? Hvad drikker du? What are you drinking? So this could be you see someone drinking, you're like, hey, what's up? Huh? Hvad drikker du? Something like that. Den har jeg aldrig prøvet før. Den har jeg aldrig prøvet før. Never tried that before. Right? Like a drink, because we're already in the context here. Så den har jeg aldrig prøvet før. Okay. Vil du danse? Yeah, well, so that would be, I forgot, so say skal vi, ikke? You cannot say skal du danse. Skal vi og vil du danse? Skal vi danse? Vil du danse? Like that. It's like, shall we dance? Do you wanna dance? Alright. Jeg bliver nødt til at gå hjem. Jeg bliver nødt til at gå hjem. I have to go home. Okay? Jeg bliver nødt til at gå hjem. Alright. Jeg har det ikke så godt. Jeg har det ikke så godt. I don't feel too well. Usually when someone says this, it's something physical. Like now we're at a party, so we're assuming that they drank too much to gonna throw up. Right? Jeg har det ikke så godt. But it could also be that they're sick. They're like, I'm in bed, it's not cool. Jeg har det ikke så godt. Kind of like that. Alright. Jeg har det ikke så godt. Jeg er for fuld til at køre. Jeg er for fuld til at køre. I'm too drunk to drive. For fuld. Too drunk. Jeg er for fuld til at køre. Lad os ringe efter en taxa. Lad os ringe efter en taxa. Let's call a cab or taxi. Lad os ringe efter en taxa. Even though when people are that drunk, they're not gonna say much. They're just gonna be like, taxa. You'll see for yourself when you're in Denmark. Alright. And then skip all the taxi because it's boring. And you say, jeg er lige kommet hjem. Jeg er lige kommet hjem. Jeg er lige kommet hjem. I just got home. I just came home. This lige is like just. It just happened. Jeg er lige kommet hjem. Exactly. Beautiful. Det var rigtig hyggeligt. Det var rigtig hyggeligt. It was really fun, cozy. Yeah, so as most of you already know, hyggeligt or hyggelig is cozy and not fun. But this is the thing with, out in the world, nobody says cozy. You say, oh, it's fun. So, whatever. And this is just our version. You could also say det var sjovt, ikke? S-J-O-V-T. Sjovt. It was fun. So, whatever floats your boat. Det var rigtig hyggeligt. Yeah. The last one. Det må vi gøre igen en anden gang. I'll have to do that again sometime, ikke? Yeah, it looks very long, but it's pretty simple. Det må vi gøre igen en anden gang. And in general, I encourage you to copy what you see. I also want you to make your own sentences. But if something is new to you, then copy what you see, and then later on you can, slowly start to replace words. Because then you get a better structure. Why? Because you are taking it from native speakers. So you don't have to, look in the blind or search in the blind. You already have a template that you can use. That's very, very good stuff. Dejligt vejr i dag. Dejligt vejr i dag. Lovely weather today. Dejligt vejr i dag. Hvor er vejret bare fantastisk. Hvor er vejret bare fantastisk. The weather is just great, fantastic, amazing. Hvor er vejret bare fantastisk. Vejret er lige som det skal være. Vejret er lige som det skal være. The weather is perfect, or just as it should be. Som det skal være. As it should be. Vejret er lige som det skal være. Nice. Det er rigtig varmt i dag. Det er rigtig varmt i dag. It's really warm today. Or hot, whichever. Det er rigtig varmt i dag. Ja. Det er lidt for varmt. Det er lidt for varmt. It's a bit too warm or too hot. Det er lidt for varmt. Very nice. Jeg sveder. Jeg sveder. I'm sweating. Ja. Jeg sveder. Very nice. Det er lidt skyet. Det er lidt skyet. It's a bit cloudy. Det er lidt skyet. Det er helt overskyet. Det er helt overskyet. It's totally cloudy, like it's covered, it's overcast. Det er helt overskyet. Yeah, that's how it is. Det trækker op til regn. Det trækker op til regn. It's going to rain soon. This, det trækker op til, means that it's going to happen soon. Alright? Det trækker op til regn. Det regner. Det regner. It's raining. Ja. Det regner. Nu er der tordenvejr. Nu er der tordenvejr. Now there's a storm or thunder. Tordenvejr literally means thunder weather. So thunderstorm is another word. Tordenvejr. Nu er der tordenvejr. Kedeligt vejr. Kedeligt vejr. Boring weather. Kedeligt vejr. Det er lidt koldt i dag. Det er lidt koldt i dag. It's a bit cold today. It is a bit cold. Det er lidt koldt i dag. Det er rigtig koldt udenfor. Det er rigtig koldt udenfor. It's really cold outside. Det er rigtig koldt udenfor. Ja. Det er helt vindstille. Det er helt vindstille. There is no wind. I wrote wind quiet because stille is quiet, so it's an adjective meaning that it's totally quiet in that department. Right? There's no wind. Det er helt vindstille. Ja. Vinden blæser. Vinden blæser. The wind is blowing. Vinden blæser. Blæser, blæser, blæser. Det blæser lidt i dag. Det blæser lidt i dag. It's blowing a bit today. Ja. Det blæser lidt i dag. Very nice. Det blæser ret meget. Det blæser ret meget. It's blowing pretty hard. And of course, when I say blowing, I'm thinking about the wind. That's it. Det blæser ret meget. Ja. De varsler orkan. De varsler orkan. They're warning about a hurricane. I know that's a very long translation, but that's what it is. De varsler orkan. Ja. Og ja. Vi får måske sne i morgen. Vi får måske sne i morgen. We might get snow tomorrow. Ja. Vi får måske sne i morgen. Jeg elsker snevejr. Jeg elsker snevejr. I love snowy weather. Jeg elsker snevejr. Det sneede hele natten. Det sneede hele natten. It snowed all night. And when I say night, I don't mean the evening. I mean the actual night, like when you go to bed, usually after midnight. So remember that. Det sneede hele natten. Hele natten. Nice. Sneen er allerede smeltet. Sneen er allerede smeltet. The snow has already melted. Yeah, that's how it is. Sneen er allerede smeltet. Det er bidende koldt. Det er bidende koldt. It's really cold. So bidende is kind of like bitingly, because bide means to bite. I know you don't say that in English, but you can translate it to like bitterly cold. But just know the original meaning. At bide, to bite. Så det er bidende koldt. Very nice. Fryser du? Fryser du? Are you cold? Freezing. This doesn't have to be that you're freezing. It just means that you're cold. Someone's asking if you're cold. Fryser du? Fryser du? Jeg fryser. Jeg fryser. I'm cold, or I'm freezing. Jeg fryser. Jeg kan ikke holde kulden ud. Jeg kan ikke holde kulden ud. I can't stand the cold. Ja. Jeg kan ikke holde kulden ud. No, I can't. Danmark er et koldt land. Danmark er et koldt land. Denmark is a cold country. Here it is. Danmark er et koldt land. Det er altid koldt her. Det er altid koldt her. It's always cold here. Yeah. Det er altid koldt her. Solen skinner aldrig her. Solen skinner aldrig her. The sun never shines here. Solen skinner aldrig her. Solen skinner altid her. Solen skinner altid her. The sun always shines here, or is always shining. Solen skinner altid her. Exactly. Det regner sjældent her. Det regner sjældent her. It rarely rains here. Det regner sjældent her. Vi har et meget stabilt klima. Vi har et meget stabilt klima. We have a very stable climate. Vi har et meget stabilt klima. Det bliver varmere og varmere. Det bliver varmere og varmere. It's getting warmer and warmer. It could also be hotter and hotter. Depends on the context. Det bliver varmere og varmere. Yeah. That's how it is. Det sner ikke så meget mere. Det sner ikke så meget mere. It doesn't snow that much anymore. Like, it doesn't snow that often. That's what it means. Det sner ikke så meget mere. Det er på grund af klimaforandringer. Long one. Det er på grund af klimaforandringer. It's because of climate change. Det er på grund af klimaforandringer. Det er snart sommer. Det er snart sommer. It's soon summer. Det er snart sommer. Yeah. Det er snart efterår. Det er snart efterår. It's soon autumn. Det er snart efterår. Det er snart vinter. Det er snart vinter. It's soon winter. Winter is coming. Det er snart vinter. Yeah. Det er snart forår. Det er snart forår. It's soon spring. Det er snart forår. Very nice. Årstiderne skifter. Årstiderne skifter. The seasons change. Årstid is season of the year, right? Like with the weather, not sports, not TV shows, just the weather. Årstiderne skifter. Very good. Har du set vejrudsigten? Har du set vejrudsigten? Have you seen the weather forecast? Or did you see? But literally, har du set? Have you seen? Har du set vejrudsigten? Yeah. Hvordan bliver vejret i morgen? Hvordan bliver vejret i morgen? How will the weather be tomorrow? Hvordan bliver vejret i morgen? Jeg har set en regnbue. Jeg har set en regnbue. I saw or I've seen a rainbow. Right? Jeg tror, jeg er forelsket. Jeg tror, jeg er forelsket. I think I'm in love. Jeg tror, jeg er forelsket. Tror du på kærlighed ved første blik? Tror du på kærlighed ved første blik? Do you believe in love at first sight? Tror du på kærlighed ved første blik? That's the question. Han, hun er fantastisk. Han, hun er fantastisk. He, she is amazing, fantastic. Han, hun er fantastisk. Hvad synes du om ham, hende? Hvad synes du om ham, hende? What do you think about him, her? Hvad synes du om ham, hende? De fleste mænd, kvinder vil have mig. De fleste mænd, kvinder vil have mig. Most men, women want me. De fleste mænd, kvinder vil have mig. Jeg kan vælge og vrage. Jeg kan vælge og vrage. I can pick and choose. Jeg kan vælge og vrage. Jeg er single. And hi there in the chat. Jeg er single. I'm single. Jeg er single. Ja, jeg kan godt lide at være single. Jeg kan godt lide at være single. I like being single. Jeg kan godt lide at være single. What a sound. Alright, what we got? Jeg er træt af at være single. Jeg er træt af at være single. I'm tired of being single. Jeg er træt af at være single. Jeg har ikke nogen kæreste. Jeg har ikke nogen kæreste. I don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend. Jeg har ikke nogen kæreste. Jeg vil have en kæreste. Jeg vil have en kæreste. I want a boyfriend, girlfriend. Jeg vil have en kæreste. Very nice. Jeg er i et forhold. Jeg er i et forhold. I'm in a relationship. Jeg er i et forhold. Okay. Jeg har en date i aften. Jeg har en date i aften. I have a date tonight. Jeg har en date i aften. Jeg skal på date. Jeg skal på date. I'm going on a date. Jeg skal på date. Mm-hmm. Jeg skal møde en fyr. Jeg skal møde en fyr. I'm going to meet a girl or a guy. Jeg skal møde en fyr. Ja, det er vores første date. Det er vores første date. It's our first date. Det er vores første date. Vi kender ikke hinanden så godt endnu. Vi kender ikke hinanden så godt endnu. We don't know each other that well yet. Kender ikke hinanden så godt endnu. Nej. Vi har skrevet sammen i et stykke tid. Vi har skrevet sammen i et stykke tid. We've been texting for a while. Vi har skrevet sammen i et stykke tid. Ja, vi mødtes online. Vi mødtes online. We met online. Vi mødtes online. Vi mødtes til en fest. Vi mødtes til en fest. We met at a party. Vi mødtes til en fest. Fest. Jeg fik hendes telefonnummer. Jeg fik hendes telefonnummer. I got his or her phone number. Jeg fik hendes telefonnummer. Mm-hmm. Jamen, jeg skal se godt ud i aften. Jeg skal se godt ud i aften. I need to look good tonight. Jeg skal se godt ud i aften. Hell yeah. Hvordan ser jeg ud i denne kjole? Hvordan ser jeg ud i den her kjole? How do I look in this dress? Hvordan ser jeg ud i den her kjole? Jeg er spændt. Jeg er spændt. I'm excited. Jeg er spændt. Jeg er lidt nervøs. Jeg er lidt nervøs. I'm a bit nervous. Jeg er lidt nervøs. Alright. Jeg håber det går godt. Jeg håber det går godt. I hope it'll go well, or I hope it goes well. Jeg håber det går godt. Yeah. Han, hun er meget charmerende. Han, hun er meget charmerende. He, she is very charming. Han, hun er meget charmerende. We got something down here. Till is an interesting word. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Nej, jeg kommer ikke fra Fyn. Jeg kommer fra Sjælland. Definitely not from Fyn. Fynen. Alright. Next. Han, hun er lækker. Han, hun er lækker. He, she is hot, sexy. Han, hun er lækker. Han, hun er en fantastisk mand, kvinde. Han, hun er en fantastisk mand, kvinde. He, she is an amazing man, woman. Han, hun er en fantastisk mand, kvinde. Vi har en god kemi. Vi har en god kemi. We have a good chemistry. Vi har en god kemi. Vi har mange ting til fælles. Vi har mange ting til fælles. We have many things in common. Vi har mange ting til fælles. Det var lidt kedeligt. Det var lidt kedeligt. It was a bit boring. Det var lidt kedeligt. Vi havde ikke så meget at snakke at tale om. Vi havde ikke så meget at tale om. We didn't have that much to talk about. Vi havde ikke så meget at tale om. Jeg vil gerne se ham, hende igen. Jeg vil gerne se ham, hende igen. I would like to meet him, her again. Jeg vil gerne se ham, hende igen. Nice. Han kyssede mig godnat. Han kyssede mig godnat. He kissed me goodnight. Han kyssede mig godnat. Han, hun er en god kysser. Han, hun er en god kysser. He, she is a good kisser. Han, hun er en god kysser. kyssede hende ikke. Jeg kyssede hende ikke. I didn't kiss her. Jeg kyssede hende ikke. Not good, man. Vi skal ses igen næste uge. Vi skal ses igen næste uge. We're gonna meet again next week. Vi skal ses igen næste uge. Næste uge. Han virkede lidt som en player. Han virkede lidt som en player. He kind of seemed like a player. Han virkede lidt som en player. Ja. Jeg tror, hun er lidt løs på tråden. Jeg tror, hun er lidt løs på tråden. I think she's a bit loose, slutty. Jeg tror, hun er lidt løs på tråden. Vi er kærester nu. Vi er kærester nu. We're a couple now. Vi er kærester nu. Thank you very much. New member right there. Sigrila. I can't pronounce your name, but thank you very much. Cassandra Arnold. Focus is off. What focus? I'm not sure. Alright. Vi er kærester nu. Vi har været sammen i et par måneder. Vi har været sammen i et par måneder. We've been together for a couple of months. Vi har været sammen i et par måneder. Jeg elsker ham, hende. Jeg elsker ham, hende. I love him, her. Jeg elsker ham, hende. Nice. The big one. Jeg elsker dig. Jeg elsker dig. I love you. Jeg elsker dig. Jeg elsker også dig. Jeg elsker også dig. I love you too. Jeg elsker også dig. Nice. Vores kærlighed er stærk. Vores kærlighed er stærk. Our love is strong. Vores kærlighed er stærk. Ja. Vi forstår hinanden. Vi forstår hinanden. We understand each other. Vi forstår hinanden. Ja. Jeg stoler på ham, hende. Jeg stoler på ham, hende. I trust him, her. Jeg stoler på ham, hende. Nice. Nogle gange skændes vi. gange skændes vi. Sometimes we fight, argue. Nogle gange skændes vi. Vi havde skænderi i går. Vi havde et skænderi i går. We had a fight yesterday. Vi havde et skænderi i går. Jeg kom til at sove ham, hende. Jeg kom til at sove ham, hende. I accidentally or inadvertently heard him, her. Jeg kom til at sove ham, hende. Han, hun har været mig utro. Han, hun har været mig utro. He, she has cheated on me. Han, hun har været mig utro. Jeg har slået op med ham, hende. Jeg har slået op med ham, hende. I've broken up with him, her. Jeg har slået op med ham, hende. Vi er ikke sammen mere. Vi er ikke sammen mere. Pixie Moons, thank you. We're not together anymore. Vi er ikke sammen mere. Nogle gange gør kærlighed ondt. Nogle gange gør kærlighed ondt. Sometimes love hurts. Nogle gange gør kærlighed ondt. Jeg har sagt undskyld til ham, hende. Jeg har sagt undskyld til ham, hende. I've said sorry, or I apologized to him, her. Jeg har sagt undskyld til ham, hende. Vi har indgået et kompromis. Vi har indgået et kompromis. Oh, that was supposed to be it. My bad. Although some people actually do say en. That's kind of weird. We made a compromise. Vi har indgået et kompromis. Vi prøver at løse det. Vi prøver at løse det. We're trying to solve it. Vi prøver at løse det. Vi elsker stadig hinanden. Vi elsker stadig hinanden. We still love each other. Vi elsker stadig hinanden. Jeg vil fri til hende. Jeg vil fri til hende. I'm going to propose to her, or pop the question. Jeg vil fri til hende. Eric Jensen in many cases, not pronounced. Yep, you're absolutely right. That's why Danish is hard to learn. I'm going to propose to her. Jeg vil fri til hende. Alright, nice. And the big question. Vil du gifte dig med mig? Vil du gifte dig med mig? Will you marry me? Vil du gifte dig med mig? Vi skal snart giftes. Vi skal snart giftes. We're getting married soon. Nice. Vi skal snart giftes. Vi er forlovet. Vi er forlovet. We're engaged. Vi er forlovet. Nice. Jeg har købt en ring til hende, ham. Jeg har købt en ring til hende, ham. I've bought a ring for her, him. Jeg har købt en ring til hende, ham. Kommer du til vores bryllup? Kommer du til vores bryllup? Are you coming to our wedding? Kommer du til vores bryllup? Vi skal giftes i en kirke. Vi skal giftes i en kirke. We're getting married in a church. Vi skal giftes i en kirke. Nice. Nice. Vi har inviteret mange mennesker. Vi har inviteret mange mennesker. We've invited a lot of people. Vi har inviteret mange mennesker. Præsten skal vie os. Præsten skal vie os. The minister, priest, pastor is going to wed us, depending what kind of church, I guess. In Denmark we just say præst. Præsten skal vie os. Wonderful. Nu er vi gift. Nu er vi gift. Now we're married. Nu er vi gift. Han er min mand. Han er min mand. He's my husband. Han er min mand. Hun er min kone. Hun er min kone. She's my wife. Hun er min kone. Vi bor sammen. Vi bor sammen. We live together. Vi bor sammen. That's how it is. Vi vil gerne børn. Vi vil gerne have børn. We want to have children. Vi vil gerne have børn. Jeg tror, jeg er gravid. Jeg tror, jeg er gravid. I think I'm pregnant. Jeg tror, jeg er gravid. Vi skal være forældre. Vi skal være forældre. We're going to be parents. Vi skal være forældre. Jeg har 3 måneder hen. Jeg er 3 måneder henne. I'm 3 months in. Jeg er 3 måneder henne. Bliver det en dreng eller pige? Bliver det en dreng eller pige? Is it gonna be a boy or a girl? Bliver det en dreng eller pige? Min kone skal snart føde. Min kone skal snart føde. My wife is giving birth soon. Min kone skal snart føde. Jeg er lige blevet mor, far. Jeg er lige blevet mor, far. I've just become a mother or father. Jeg er lige blevet mor, far. Vi er en familie nu. Vi er en familie nu. We're family now. Vi er en familie nu. Jeg har en kat. Jeg har en kat. I have a cat. Jeg har en kat. Min kat er sød. Min kat er sød. My cat is cute. Min kat er sød. And sød can mean cute, but can also mean sweet. So. Den river og bider nogle gange. Den river, bider nogle gange. It scratches or bites sometimes. Den river, bider nogle gange og nogle gange. If you want to say it fast. Den river nogle gange, den bider nogle gange. Er det din hund? Er det din hund? Is it your dog? Er det din hund? Of course, you could also say, er det din hund? Er det din hund? Er det din hund? Right? You can put the stress in different places. Hunden gør. Hunden gør. The dog is barking. Hunden gør. And yeah, gør is the same spelling as gør and do in the present tense. It's annoying, but that's how it is. Hunden gør. Oh, 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 oh. Well, better than that. Hunden er menneskets bedste ven. Hunden er menneskets bedste ven. Dog is man's or human's best friend. So, menneskets literally means humans. Right? To us Danish people, it's kind of weird that you say man's best friend, but oh well. Hunden er menneskets bedste ven. Er du hunde-kattemenneske? Er du hundemenneske? Er du kattemenneske? Are you a dog or cat person? That's how we say it, right? Menneske, not person, but menneske. Er du hundemenneske? Er du kattemenneske? Ja. Min ven har et marsvin. Min ven har et marsvin. My friend has a guinea pig. Min ven har et marsvin. This question you could say about a lot of animals. Hvad spiser den? Hvad spiser den? What does it eat? Right? Very straightforward. Hvad spiser den? Da jeg var barn, havde jeg en hamster. Da jeg var barn, havde jeg en hamster. When I was a kid, I had a hamster. Inversion, yeah, you see it right here. Havde jeg. Da jeg var barn, havde jeg. Alright. Min kanin er sulten. Min kanin er sulten. My rabbit is hungry. Min kanin er sulten. Sulten, but most of the time we don't bother to say that. Most of the time it just ends up sounding like sulten, like a D. Oh, jeg er så sulten, jeg er så sulten. Er du sulten? Like that. Har du en fugl? Har du en fugl? Do you have a bird? Har du en fugl? Fugl, that's a nice silent G there, right? Fugl. Jeg skal købe noget fuglefoder. Jeg skal købe noget fuglefoder. I have to buy some bird food or fodder. Right? Fodder, that is for animals. Which is why I put fodder here so you remember it. Don't say fodder about humans. Maybe you have some kids, you're feeding them, you're giving them some food. Don't say fodder. Jeg skal købe noget fuglefoder. Min fugl pipper. Min fugl pipper. My bird is tweeting. Yeah, beep, 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 beep. That sounds pretty bad. I think most of you can do better. Min fugl pipper. Er det rigtigt, at han har en mus som kæledyr? Er det rigtigt, at han har en mus som kæledyr? Is it true that he has a mouse for a pet? Er det rigtigt, at han har en mus som kæledyr? Er det rigtigt, at han har en mus som kæledyr? Er det rigtigt, at han har en mus som kæledyr? Different dialects, different intonations. Jeg er lidt bange for mus. Jeg er lidt bange for mus. I'm a little scared of mice. Jeg er lidt bange for mus. Bange for is just to be scared of or afraid of in general, so you can put anything here. Jeg er bange for klovne. Jeg er bange for rotter. Jeg er bange for spøgelser, hekse, whatever you want to put, eh? Whatever you're scared of. Jeg er bange for something. Jeg har fået et nyt kæledyr. Jeg har fået et nyt kæledyr. I got a new pet. Jeg har fået et nyt kæledyr. Det er en skildpadde. Det er en skildpadde. It's a turtle. Det er en skildpadde. Den bevæger sig meget langsomt. Den bevæger sig meget langsomt. It moves very slowly. Den bevæger sig meget langsomt. Mine forældre har et firben. Mine forældre har et firben. My parents have a lizard. So I don't know if this is useful for so many of you. Maybe not. I just really like lizards. They're so cool. Mine forældre har et firben. Jeg synes krybdyr og reptiler er spændende. Jeg synes krybdyr og reptiler er spændende. I think reptiles are interesting. Now, some of you already noticed this, I'm sure. That spændende doesn't mean interesting. Spændende means exciting. However, the way we use it in Danish, it's almost the same as interesting. Like we say it when you would say interesting. Spændende, interesting, cool, intriguing, kind of like that. So it's not just about something that's exciting in the adrenaline sense, like, oh, this is spændende, so exciting. It doesn't have to be that. Could also be something cool, like fascinating. Reptiles. Jeg synes krybdyr er spændende. Jeg synes reptiler er spændende. Må jeg se din guldfisk? Sounds so dumb. Må jeg se din guldfisk? Can I see your goldfish? Må jeg se din guldfisk? Den fisk har et godt liv. Den fisk har et godt liv. That fish has a good life. Den fisk har et godt liv. Den lever i saltvand, ferskvand. Den lever i saltvand, ferskvand. It lives in salt water, fresh water. So saltvand is of course salt water, and ferskvand is fresh water. Fersk is, well, it doesn't mean fresh on its own, but for example, fersken, if you imagine an E and N after this K, fersken is a peach, like a peach. So yeah, you can also say it about some other things, like the flavor, if it's a little bit towards fresh, not like cheese or licorice or meat, but maybe more like fruit or something. Right? Fersk. Den lever i saltvand, ferskvand. Jeg elsker dyr. Jeg elsker dyr. I love animals. That's pretty basic. Jeg elsker dyr. Jeg elsker dyr. Jeg elsker dyr. Again, different intonations. Practice. Because people are going to say it differently. Jeg elsker dyr. Hvor gammel er din hest? Hvor gammel er din hest? How old is your horse? Hvor gammel er din hest? Hvor længe har du redet? Hvor længe har du redet? Og redet, that's okay too. For how long have you been riding? Right? And from the context, we know that you are talking about a horse. Grise er sjov. Grise er sjove. Pigs are funny. Grise er sjove. Gris is a very useful word in Denmark if you want to talk about what we eat or what we export. So yeah, I know in Spanish gris means like gray, and I always found that very interesting. But yeah, here it means pig. So of course, a pig, en gris. Ignore the E here, en gris. That would be the singular. Min nabo har nogle køer. Min nabo har nogle køer. My neighbor has some cows. Min nabo har nogle køer. Får laver sjove lyde. Får laver sjove lyde. Sheep make funny sounds. Yeah, I guess so. Får laver sjove lyde. It's a softie. I think a lot of you need to practice this. Lyde. But when I say it fast, it's more like lyde. Like I just end with the lyde, a long sound. Får laver sjove lyde. Was that a goat? I can never really distinguish them. I'm not so good at that. Bah. Oh yeah, that's a sheep. Alright. Moving on. Er det din ged? Er det din ged? Is it your goat? Er det din ged? Ged. That's goat. Right? Ged, ged, ged. Er det din ged? Moving on. Der er mange dyr i skoven. Der er mange dyr i skoven. There are many animals in the forest or the woods. In Danish, we don't distinguish between the forest or the woods. Maybe because we don't have, I'm not sure, our geography is a little bit limited. So, Der er mange dyr i skoven. Jeg så noget på marken. Jeg så noget på marken. I saw something on the field or in the field. Jeg så noget på marken. Yeah. That's very important in Denmark. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. You're in the countryside, you look out the window or from the train or wherever you are. You see it. So many fields. Jeg så noget på marken. Jeg tror, det var en hare. Jeg tror, det var en hare. I think it was a bunny. Now, I say bunny here, and so it's the one you meet outdoors typically, and the one that is really scared of humans, not the one you have as a pet. That is a canine rabbit. I know sometimes bunny is used interchangeably in English, but in Danish it's kind of important that you say it right. So hare, H-A-R-E, is the one you see out in nature. I mean, if you want one as a pet, more power to you. But typically you see it out in the field and they're very scared of people. Oh nej! So like, yeah. Jeg tror, det var en hare. Jeg tror, det var en hare. And so we go. Jeg så et vildt dyr i skoven. Jeg så et vildt dyr i skoven. I saw a wild animal in the forest. Jeg så et vildt dyr i skoven. Jeg så et vildt dyr i skoven. This is something you can also do when you're practicing Danish. You can also put different intonations to make it more fun. Because I understand that from a learner's perspective, it can be quite boring sometimes to repeat these. But if you put a little bit of emotion into it, then you can make it more interesting for yourself. Right? It's a suggestion. That's what I did when I was learning Japanese. Made it a lot more fun. Jeg så et vildt dyr i skoven. Åh nej, åh nej. Var det en hjort? Var det en hjort? Was that a deer? Var det en hjort? Var det en hjort? By the way, hjort can also be a last name. In that case, it's gonna be a big H. Hjort. I think we have a politician with that name, actually. Huh. Er der ulve i Danmark? Er der ulve i Danmark? Are there wolves in Denmark? Er der ulve i Danmark? Not really, but kind of. What a bad answer. We didn't have for a long time, but then recently, over the last 4 or 5 years, they popped up, mostly in Jutland. I think it's cool. I'd like to see one from a distance. Some people are not so happy about it. But generally speaking, we don't have them. Ulve. Er der ulve i Danmark? Der er ikke bjørne her. Der er ikke bjørne her. There aren't bears here, or there aren't any, or there are no bears here. Right? Der er ikke bjørne her. Nej, der er ikke bjørne her. Vi kigger på fugle. Vi kigger på fugle. We're looking at birds. Vi kigger på fugle. Vi kigger på fugle. Det er et eksotisk dyr. Det er et eksotisk dyr. It's an exotic animal. Oh, and here's a little tip. If you're learning Danish and you have an English adjective, like exotic, could also be fantastic, or a lot of other things. If it's the same in Danish, if it happens to be very similar, like the same root, then it has to end with isk, like exotisk, or heroisk, or fantastisk. We have so many that sound that way. Right? They end that way. Eksotisk. Isk. Det er et eksotisk dyr. Ja, det er et eksotisk dyr. Alright. Hvad er dit yndlingsdyr? Hvad er dit yndlingsdyr? What is your favorite animal? Ja. Hvad er dit yndlingsdyr? Yndlings is a very common way to say favorite. And you could also say favorit, but it's a lot more common to say yndlings. Alright. Hvad er dit yndlingsdyr? Mit yndlingsdyr er... And then you could say whatever. Here, you get the chance to sort of do it on your own a little bit. Right? Jeg så en her den anden dag. Jeg så en her den anden dag. I saw an something the other day. You can put in something like mus, mouse, rotte, rat, edderkop, spider, ulv, wolf, slange, snake. These are just a few examples. Ikke? Jeg så en mus, jeg så en rotte, jeg så en edderkop, etc. Jeg så en her den anden dag. Alright. This is similar, but it's the ending. Right? Det er første gang, jeg ser en. Det er første gang, jeg ser en. It's the first time I see a or an. Now I could say it, and the same for the previous one, like say it's. But the reason I didn't put it is because most animals have en before them. And there are some exceptions. Marsvin is one. It marsvin, guinea pig. And of course, more than that. But the vast majority, en. Right? So, some options here. Haj, shark. Bæver, beaver. Tiger, tiger. Krokodille, crocodile. Abe, monkey. Right. Det er første gang, jeg ser en. Det er første gang, jeg ser en. Something. It's okay to be a little bit excited, because like you never seen a unicorn before. Oh, right, they're not real. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Alright. Næste. Hvilke dyr lever på savannen? Hvilke dyr lever på savannen? Which animals live on the savannah? Hvilke dyr lever på savannen? Elefanter glemmer aldrig. Elefanter glemmer aldrig. Elephants never forget. Yep, we say that in Danish too. Elefanter glemmer aldrig. That's it. There's also a perfect example of the word order. Right? In Danish, if you have like a typical main clause, especially if it's very short, then you have the verb before the adverb. And verb is of course the action, and adverb could be something like never, always, sometimes, once in a while, etc. Så elefanter glemmer aldrig. Aldrig. Never. Aldrig. Now, this is a very serious question, clearly. Kan elefanten flyve? Kan elefanten flyve or flyve? But you don't have to say that. You can just say flyve. Kan elefanten flyve? Can the elephant fly? Kan elefanten flyve? This is the best. Løven er på jagt. Løven er på jagt. Or løven. Either one is fine. Løven er på jagt. The lion is on the hunt, or the prowl. Right? Hunt is, jagt is hunt. So, jagt. Also, if you are a hunter, you go out, in the forest or something, shoot something. That's also at gå på jagt, to go on a hunt. Løven er på jagt. Løver er rovdyr. Løver er rovdyr. Lions are predators. Ja. Løver er rovdyr. Hyæner er kødædere. Hyæner er kødædere. Hyenas are carnivores. Yeah, so kødæder, maybe you guessed it, is meat eater. Right? Kød is meat, and æde, A-D-E, is to eat, but only animals. I might have mentioned this before. Humans, you shouldn't really say it. I mean, you can say it kind of like if you want to sound a little bit rough, like, jeg skal have noget æde, like, I gotta get some crop, like very informally, being aware that it's not polite or nice. But generally speaking, just say spise when it's about humans. But animals, æde, that's fine. Kødæder. Kødæder. Ooh, two soft E's in one word. Lovely. Carnivores. You will say carnivore in Danish. That's more like the zoologist or the biologist would say that. So. Hyæner er kødæder, de spiser dig. Alright, let's stick to the point here. Se giraffens lange hals. Se giraffens lange hals. See the giraffe's long neck. Or like look at, literally see, but it's like, hey, look at that. Se giraffens lange hals. Lange hals. And by the way, hals is neck, but it's also like throat. So it's like the front of your neck, and then it's also inside, so your throat. But the back is nakke, N-A-K-K-E. Lange hals, long neck. Giraffer er planteædere. Giraffer er planteædere. Giraffes are herbivores. Giraffer er planteædere. Yeah, and that's it. One more. Zebraens striber er flotte. Zebraens striber er flotte. The zebra's stripes are pretty or nice. Flot is like pretty or nice or beautiful. Depends on the context. But in this case, it's of course visual. De er flotte. They're nice. They're pretty. Zebraens striber er flotte. That's how it is. Jeg kan godt lide den sang. Jeg kan godt lide den sang. I like that song. Yeah. Jeg kan godt lide den sang. Den er god, ikke? Den er god, ikke? It's good, right? Den er god, ikke? You don't have to say it, ikke? We're like Sjælland, Zealand, Copenhagen way of saying it. Some people say like, den er god, ikke? Den er god, ikke? Different ways of saying it. Hvad hedder den sang? Hvad hedder den sang? What's the name of that song? Hvad hedder den sang? Har du hørt den nye med... Har du hørt den nye med og med? Either one is fine. Har du hørt den nye sang med? It's optional because the nye is just like the new one. So that is enough. Did you hear the new one or the new song with the artist who made it? Well, min yndlingssang er... My favorite song is... min yndlingssang er... Okay, this one you gotta put a name first, right? Here you gotta put a name, right? So you gotta say whoever it is bedste sang, right? Er. Så la. Bedste sang er. Bedste sang er. Best song is. Right? Bedste sang er. Ejt. Næste. Min yndlingssanger og sangerinde er... Min sangerinde er... My favorite singer is... Sanger is male and sangerinde is female. Is that simple? Min yndlingssanger og sangerinde er... whoever it is. Okay. Mit yndlingsband er... My favorite band is... whatever it is. So band, yep, that's right. We took it from English. Yndlingsband. Although we do have the word gruppe, like group. But nowadays it's just so common to say band. Especially if they play instruments, all of them, then definitely band. Ja. Mit yndlingsband er... Hun er en god rapper. Hun er en god rapper. He or she is a good rapper. Right? Of course, you can also just take their name here. You don't have to say han or hun. So, hun er en god rapper. Hun har en smuk og flot stemme. Hun har en smuk og flot stemme. Yeah. He or she has a beautiful or nice voice. Right? Now, if you watched the video about adjectives that I made 2 weeks ago, then you'll know that smuk and flot are not exactly the same thing. But you can say both, right? You can say both when it's about a voice. Smuk stemme, flot stemme. There's a lot of good words you can use about your voice. So, hun synger virkelig godt. Hun synger virkelig godt. She sings really well. Right? Hun synger virkelig godt. Yeah. Nice. Hendes tekster er meget gode. Hendes tekster er meget gode. Ja. Again, that's the possessive, ikke? Hendes tekster er meget gode, og meget gode, but nobody says meget in real life, so his or her lyrics are pretty good. Right? Tekster, that is what we say. Yeah, it might not sound very beautiful or lyrical, but it's what we say. Right? Tekster. Så. Melodien er rigtig god. Melodien er rigtig god. The melody is really good. Melodien er rigtig god. Oh yeah. Rigtig god. Rigtig, rigtig, rigtig god. Really, really, really good. Right? Ja. Den er nem at synge med på. Den er nem at synge med på. Maybe once more, a bit slower. Den er nem at synge med på. It's easy to sing along to. So, at synge med på is like to sing along. Sing along to something. Yeah. Alright. Den sang har ikke nogen melodi. Den sang har ikke nogen melodi. That song doesn't have a melody. It doesn't have any melody. Den sang har ikke nogen melodi. Alright. Den minder lidt om... It resembles or is similar to... So, minder om is literally it reminds of, right? But this is a very common Danish way of saying it's similar, or it's kind of like that. The Danish word for similar is lignende, but we use it in a slightly different way, not like you would expect. So, minder om is very, very common. You watch a movie or you hear something, in this case music, and reminds you of something you've seen or heard before. You're like, den minder om. It resembles or it's similar to something else. So it's very, very good. And minder here, it's also a noun. It means memories. Memories, like that. So yeah, that's some very good stuff. Okay. Kan du høre bassen? Kan du høre bassen? Can you hear the bass? Yeah. Bassen. Yeah. Oh, by the way, a little bonus info. Basse is also like a slang, kind of cute slang for someone who's a little bit chubby or fat. Right? Like if you have a fat cat like I do, you might be like, oh, lille basse or store basse. Oh, hvor er bassen? And where's the fat one? But it's a relatively cute and sweet way of saying it. Right? Så, basse. Kan du høre bassen? Næste. Jeg elsker den guitar solo. Jeg elsker den guitar solo. I love that guitar solo. Jeg elsker den guitar solo. Pronunciation is different here. Guitar, not guitar. Guitar, that's how we say it. Okay. Prøv lige at høre de stryger. Prøv lige at høre de stryger. This one is, this is like in conversation. You wouldn't see this in writing. Ikke? Prøv lige at høre de stryger. Listen to those strings. Okay? Prøv at høre literally means try to listen. But in English, you wouldn't say that. It would be weird. So the natural translation would be listen to those. Like you want to get someone's attention. Like, hey, listen to this. This is awesome. Prøv lige at høre de stryger. Kind of like that. Yeah. Awesome. And det er et akustisk nummer. Det er et akustisk nummer. It's an acoustic track. Det er et akustisk nummer. Yeah, acoustic, that's pretty easy. It's just typical Danish, like if an adjective ends with ik, in English like acoustic, realistic, a lot of other things. then it's isk in Danish, ikke? A lot of the time. Akustisk nummer. Nummer is a track or song. Also number. I think it's a lot of things. Næste. Der er ikke nogen trommer. Der er ikke nogen trommer. There are no drums. Right? Trommer. That is drums. Now, I've written this in a fairly, how can you say, like layman's terms, right? Because I could write some terms that musicians would use. But I think most of you out there are not musicians. So I'm using like the regular day-to-day terms. Der er ikke nogen trommer. Der er ikke nogen trommer. Det er ikke godt. Right der. Næste. Okay, den er lidt lang, altså. Kind of long one. Den er bygget på nogle meget simple akkorder. Den er bygget på nogle meget simple akkorder. It's built on some very simple chords, right? Yeah. Long sentence, but very direct actually. Den er bygget, it's built on, right? And then the rest, nice and easy. Alright. Næste. Det meste popmusik er kedeligt. Det meste popmusik er kedeligt. Most pop music is boring. Right? Det meste popmusik er kedeligt. Yeah, some of these are just opinions, but you know, if you love pop music, but you want to say something else, you can say det meste rapmusik, det meste rockmusik, det meste klassiske musik, like whatever genre you think is boring, just put it in here. Yeah, reggaeton, oh god. Alright, let's see. Næste. Den sang er så ensformig. Den sang er så ensformig. That song is so repetitive, right? Ensformig, that's the key word here. Yeah, it's actually an interesting word because the English word repetitive obviously is something that repeats itself, whereas ensformig is like one-shaped, or shapen or whatever, because form is shape, right? So the song only has one shape. So you hear Love to Love You Baby and you're like, we get it, ikke? Den er lidt ensformig. Så den slags. Alright. Næste. Det er et interessant nummer. Det er et interessant nummer. It's an interesting track. Det er et interessant nummer. Or interessant. Nobody says interessant. We just say interessant. I mentioned this before. It's like in English. You say interesting. Most of the time you don't say interesting. Unless you're Kanye West. Oh no, then you say interesting. Well, anyway. Det er et interessant nummer. Okay. Jeg kan godt lide musik som... I like music that... So this is like, I like music that, you know, is new, is fresh, is challenging, is long, short, whatever. It does something. I like music that... Yada yada. Jeg kan godt lide musik som... Yeah. And this is good because then I'm not doing all the work for you. Like you can add your own here, whatever it might be. Yeah, after some, of course. It's like that. It's like that, yeah. All right. Kan du godt lide rockmusik? Kan du godt lide rockmusik? Do you like rock music? Kan du godt lide rockmusik? Now, rock is a relatively old thing compared to some other genres. So we say in Danish, Danish are rock. but rap we say with an English R, and we don't say rap. there are some people who joke about it a little bit like rap, and like a dog, like because the sound is a bit repetitive. But yeah, rock, that's a Danish R, ikke? Rockmusik. Kan du godt lide rockmusik? Alright. This one is a bit longer. Jamen, hvordan har du det med rapmusik? Hvordan har du det med rapmusik? How do you feel about rap music? Right. Hvordan har du det med rapmusik? And this hvordan har du det med is just another way of saying how do you feel about. Right? That's actually very, very useful. Not only about music, but almost anything. Right? Like how do you feel about the fact that something happened? It's super useful. And you could also put another genre here. Right? Again, it's rock music or jazz or techno or whatever you want to put in there. So, hvordan har du det med? How do you feel about something? Right? Like that. Alright. Lytter du til klassisk musik? Lytter du til klassisk musik? Do you listen to classical music? I guess I felt the need to sound like a snob there. Anyway. Lytter du til klassisk musik? Exactly. Klassisk. By the way, klassisk is both classical and classic. Right? Just so you know. Save some time there. Definitely save some time. Næste. Min far elsker jazz. Min far elsker jazz. My dad loves jazz. Right? Yeah. So it's basically the same, like ja, but it's like Danish way. Jazz. We don't say jazz. It's shorter. Jazz. Min far elsker jazz. Ikke? Det er super. Det er bare godt. Okay. Hun er helt vild med R&B. Hun er helt vild med R&B. She's crazy about R&B. So we say R&B too. We don't say R&B. That would be funny. We'd be like, what's that R&B? No, R&B is the same. Ikke? Hun er helt vild med. Ikke? Er vild med. Helt vild med. Ikke? Helt kind of emphasize it. Like really, totally. Like you're just crazy about something. You just love it. I mean, it's fine. You can say, jeg kan godt lide, and jeg elsker. But it's really good if you can say vild med. Right? Because it's more native-like. And you could also say it about a person. Like you're head over heels. You're really, really in love. You know, you can say, oh, jeg er vild med hende. I'm crazy about her. Right? Like you're wild with her. Yeah, that sounds weird in English. But that's the literal meaning. Right? Vild is wild. Så hun er helt vild med R&B. Nej, det er sådan der. Okay, næste. Okay, long one. Jeg hørte meget techno, da jeg var ung. Jeg hørte meget techno, da jeg var ung. I listened to a lot of techno when I was young. Okay, that's pretty simple. Hørte is literally heard, so we use both høre and lytte, like hear and listen, somewhat interchangeably. But of course, if you do use lytte, then you have to say lytte til, right? Yeah, it's a little preposition that's important. But høre is fine a lot of the time, ikke? Og hvad hører du, ikke? Eller hvad hører du mest? What do you hear the most? Yeah, even though you're listening, it's also hearing, so it's all good. Jeg hørte meget techno, da jeg var ung. Ung. I did actually. Okay. Den slags musik hører jeg ikke mere. Den slags musik hører jeg ikke mere. Mere. I don't listen to that kind of music anymore. Den slags musik hører jeg ikke mere. Nej. But as you can probably see, musik is optional. Right? You can just say den slags because that means that type or that kind. Right? Like that kind of stuff. So it's enough. Den slags hører jeg ikke mere. Also fine. Very nice. Næste. Min yndlingsgenre er... My favorite genre is... And then whatever, eh? I already gave you a lot of them. So, of course, there are a few that I didn't include, but... Min yndlingsgenre er... Yes. Okay. Jeg hører næsten aldrig. Jeg hører næsten aldrig. I almost never listen to... And then you just put the thing there, right? The kind of music you don't listen to, or artist. Jeg hører næsten aldrig. Yeah. Næsten aldrig. Almost never, right? Very nice. Alright, so here you gotta put it before, eh? So, put the artist name or type of music or whatever. Like the thing here, you gotta... And then you finish with this. Something, siger mig ikke rigtig noget. Siger mig ikke rigtig noget. Doesn't really speak to me or doesn't really appeal to me. It's not my kind of thing. Siger mig ikke rigtig noget. And this is a very nice thing. It's a very nice way of saying you don't like something. Of course, you can always say, jeg kan ikke lide, but that can sound quite blunt and very textbook. And if you always say, jeg kan ikke lide, it's good to have some options, and this is just one of them. Right? Something, siger mig ikke rigtig noget. Yeah. Awesome. Næste. Oh, very similar. Jeg bryder mig ikke om. Jeg bryder mig ikke om... ... Add something. Right? I don't care for, or I don't like. Right? This is also nice when you want to say you don't like something, but you don't want to be rude. Right? Then you can just say, jeg bryder mig ikke om. Yeah. Jeg bryder mig ikke om den slags musik, that kind of music. Yeah. Whatever it is, you can put it there. Okay, næste. Jeg har lige købt nye album. Jeg har lige købt nye album. I just bought new album. Right? So ideally you would put an artist name in here. Right? Whoever it is. Pet Shop Boys or whoever. Jeg har lige købt with possessive, ikke? Nye album. I don't know who buys albums anymore, but anyway. Yeah. Oh, this is very useful too. Jeg har lige købt. I just bought. Literally, I have just bought. Present perfect is used a lot more in Danish than in English. Remember that. Okay, næste. Jamen, de har fået gode og dårlige anmeldelser. Det har fået gode, dårlige anmeldelser. It got good or bad reviews. Right? I included both, so we can save some time here. Gode, dårlige, good, bad. De har fået gode og dårlige anmeldelser. Yeah, so anmeldelse, if you can ignore the R here, because that would be plural. Anmeldelse is review, and anmeldelser, reviews. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. Very nice. Let's see what we got. Det er en smagssag. Det er en smagssag. It's a matter of taste. Right? Yeah, maybe you say different strokes for different folks or something like that. But this is a very common one in Danish. When you sort of agree to disagree. Well, depends on your taste. Det er en smagssag. It's a matter of taste. Det er en smagssag. Alright. Næste. Someone er virkelig kreativ. Er virkelig kreativ. Is really creative. Right? It could also be about an artist, of course. Doesn't have to be a musician. I mean, it could be like a painter or whatever. Anyone. Er virkelig kreativ. Yeah. Alright. Jeg elsker at gå til koncerter. Jeg elsker at gå til koncerter. I love going to concerts. Jeg elsker at gå til koncerter. You could also just say concert. Right? Concerter, that's a concert. But if you say concert, like concert in singular, that is also okay. They both work. Jeg elsker det. I love it. I love it. And næste. Hvornår var du sidst til koncert? Hvornår var du sidst til koncert? When did you last go to a concert? It's literally when were you last at a concert? Right? Var like were. Hvornår var du sidst til koncert? Yeah, like that. Ja, altså, jeg var til koncert i sidste uge. Jeg var til koncert i sidste uge. I was at a concert last week. I sidste uge, last week. Jeg var til koncert i sidste uge. Wonderful. Jeg kunne godt tænke mig at se live. Jeg kunne godt tænke mig at se live. I would like to see someone live. So this is, of course, you would like to see someone live at a concert. Yeah, we use the word live as well, right, for concerts. And also TV and, well, now, because live stream, we would also say that. Oh, we live, we're live. So yeah, that is a thing in Danish. And this is also useful because jeg kunne godt tænke mig is like I would like, right? It's sort of like, I would like, or in Spanish you would say gustaría, right? So it's sort of like a soft way of stating your wish, right? Not so much like, I want it, like really strong, but more like, yeah, that'd be nice, I'd like that. Jeg kunne godt tænke mig. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Spiller du selv et instrument? Spiller du selv et instrument? Do you play an instrument yourself? Spiller du selv et instrument? Okay, this is long. You can just put any instrument that you play. Of course, there are more than these. Jeg spiller guitar, trommer, bass, keyboard, etc. Right? Jeg spiller guitar, trommer, bass, keyboard. I play guitar, drums, bass, keyboard, right? And so on. Jeg spiller guitar, trommer, bass, keyboard. Yeah, it's hard not to sing or rap when you talk about music, isn't it? Right. Moving on. Hvor længe har du spillet? For how long have you been playing? Or have you played? It's the same. Hvor længe har du spillet? So you just gotta add the instrument, after this. Spillet, har du spillet, It's present perfect. Have you been playing? Hvor længe har du spillet? Very nice. Kan du synge? Kan du synge? Can you sing? I guess, to be honest, people would rarely say it so directly, but it's still good to know the grammar here. Kan du synge? Kan du synge? Ja, det kan jeg godt. Okay. Han synger ikke så godt. Han synger ikke så godt. He doesn't sing so well. Nah. Han synger ikke så godt. And yeah, there are many other harsher ways of saying this. And you can say things like crap. So here I just picked this civilized one, if you will. Han synger ikke så godt. Okay. Du har en god sangstemme. Du har en god sangstemme. You have a good singing voice. Du har en god sangstemme. Sangstemme. And notice it's one word. Right? Sangstemme. No space here. That is really cool in Danish. So many long compound words. Or maybe you think it sucks. It depends. Du har en god sangstemme. Næste. Wow, hun er meget talentfuld. Hun er meget talentfuld. She's very talented. Talentfuld. Talented. Talentful. Full of talent. Hun er meget talentfuld. Yeah. And then. Han er et naturtalent. Han er et naturtalent. He's a natural. He's a natural talent. Han er et naturtalent. Now, of course, I always have to say in these videos that in real life, you cannot expect people to say it so clearly, right? Or in the same way. They might be like blurping it out like, hun er naturtalent, han er rigtig god, hun er naturtalent. Like, sometimes we don't speak that clearly in real life. And I do try to include that here, but I also gotta make it clear, like clear pronunciation, because you're learning. But just be aware that in the real world, in Denmark, people, they usually speak faster, and they sometimes mumble, right? Or they stop mid-sentence because like, hey, I got another idea. Oh, you know, that's just how people are. Okay, næste. Han er en dygtig musiker. Han er en dygtig musiker. He's a skilled musician. Dygtig. It doesn't have to necessarily be skilled in the academic or professional sense. But just like, you know, they're good at it. They got skills, they got talent, but they're also kind of polished, like, and practiced. That's why dygtig. En dygtig musiker. Yeah. Okay, this is the last one. Hun er en af de bedste nogensinde. Hun er en af de bedste something nogensinde. She's one of the best ever. Right? So, actually you can just say it without anything in here. And you can just say, hun er en af de bedste nogensinde. Hun er en af de bedste nogensinde. She's one of the best ever. And if you already know what you're talking about, if there's already a clear context, then that's fine. But if you want to be more specific, you can say like sangerinder, or musiker, or guitarister, or whatever it is. Right? So just put it in here. En af de bedste. And if you do that, then of course it's got to be plural, right? Because she's one person, but she's from a group, she's from a category. So that is plural. Right? Hun er en af de bedste nogensinde. Nogensinde. Ever. Right? That's a very nice word to know when you want to emphasize that something is just the best, totally supreme. Jeg elsker den film. Jeg elsker den film. I love that movie. Jeg elsker den film. Min yndlingsfilm er my favorite movie is Some of you might feel tempted to say favoritfilm. We do say favorit in Danish, but we use yndlings a lot more, right? Especially in these compound words. Så yndlingsfilm. Min yndlingsfilm er, and then whatever it is. Næste. Det jeg bedst kan kunne lide ved den er var. Det jeg bedst kan kunne lide ved den er var. What I like or liked the most about it is or was. So you see I'm changing a little bit here between the tenses, right? But that depends if you're talking in the present or the past. So you just have to sort of decide on that first. Det jeg bedst kan lide, det jeg bedst kunne lide, right? And then you have er and var here at the end. Alright, næste. Den har en god historie. Den har en god historie. It has a good story. Yeah. Historie. And historie both means story and history in Danish. So that's kind of cool. Well, for us it's cool. Den har en god historie. And then soundtracket er rigtig godt. Soundtracket er rigtig godt. The soundtrack is really good. Yeah, so we do use the English word soundtrack, and I even apply Danish grammar here, right? Like tracket, like it's it soundtrack. Of course, you could say musikken, and then would be musikken er rigtig god. But specifically, when it's about a movie, we tend to say soundtrack, just like in English. So, soundtracket er rigtig godt. Okay, næste. Now, you gotta put a name here first. Du. Spiller så godt. Spiller så godt. Acts or plays so well. Right? Spiller is, well, it's play in a lot of contexts, like computer games or sports or anything. But it's also act when we're talking about movies and stuff like that. Spiller. Spiller så godt. Ja. Okay, næste. Fortjener en Oscar. Fortjener en Oscar. Deserves an Oscar. Right? Pretty straightforward. Fortjener is deserve. Fortjener en Oscar. Beautiful. Næste. Now, this is a long one, but it's not that hard. Someone er en virkelig dygtig skuespiller og skuespillerinde. Du. Er en virkelig dygtig skuespillerinde. Someone is a really good, skilled actor, actress. So yeah, skuespiller is actor, and that's a man, and skuespillerinde is actress. It's very common in Danish that you have this inde at the end that makes it female. Eh? We don't have it for everything, but we do have it with some. And this is one of these examples. Så skuespiller og skuespillerinde. That's how it is. Someone er en virkelig dygtig skuespiller og skuespillerinde. Er ikke en særlig god skuespillerinde. Er ikke en særlig god skuespillerinde. Is not a very good actor or actress. So, you pick an actor here, and then you're like, they're not good, right? Then you can say this. It's a polite way of saying it. Of course, there are also harsher ways you can say that they suck, but I'm not gonna focus on that today. ... er ikke en særlig god skuespiller og skuespillerinde. Historien, plottet holder ikke helt. Historien, plottet holder ikke helt. The story or plot doesn't really hold up. Right? Or like you watch the movie, but it's just so thin. Like the plot, the story is just, there's no substance, or it's incoherent. Then you can say this. Holder ikke helt. Ja. Historien og plottet holder ikke helt. Næste. Har du set den nye film med... Har du set den nye film med... Or just, har du set den nye med? You don't have to say film because den nye is like the new one. So, we get it from the context. Have or did you watch or seen the new movie with whoever it is? Notice that we say har du set. This is present perfect. Sort of like if I want to know if someone has already done something, like it's on their record, so to speak, then I use present perfect and not the past. Right? I wouldn't say så du den nye film. I could, but that would be like, oh, like yesterday when you went to the theater or you went somewhere, did you do that? In that specific time frame, but not so much on your record. Like if you have experience with doing something, or it's already taken care of, that kind of stuff. Har du set den nye film med... Okay, moving on. Nej. Jeg har ikke set den endnu. Jeg har ikke set den endnu. I didn't watch it yet. Jeg har ikke set den endnu. Very good. Næste. Ja, jeg var i biografen i går. Jeg var i biografen i går. I was at the movie theater yesterday. Jeg var i biografen i går. Okay, nice. Den har lige fået og haft premiere. Den har lige fået og haft premiere. It just premiered, like it just opened. Right? It's very new, very fresh. Den har lige fået haft premiere. Skal du også se den? Skal du også se den? Are you going to see or watch it too? Skal du også se den? We could play around here, add some different dialects and intonations. We could say like, skal du også se den? Skal du også se den? Skal du også se den? Now, of course, I'm almost making a parody here, but it's just to show that depending who you're talking to, you might get different intonation or dialect. Right? Den er baseret på en sand historie. Den er baseret på en sand historie. It's based on a true story. Baseret. That's based. And please pay attention with the pronunciation here, so you don't say baseret. And like I see this sometimes with my students, they sort of contract it, like seer, like it's just one syllable, but it's not. It's baseret, or any other verb really. This er, or erat, but you don't have to say the r. You got some freedom there. Den er baseret. It's based på en sand historie. On a true story. Okay, næste. Det er den første, anden, tredje film i trilogien. Det er den første, anden, tredje film i trilogien. It's the first, second, third movie in the trilogy. This is good if you need to practice counting ordinal numbers in Danish. I know some learners still struggle with that. You gotta know at least some of them. Første, anden, tredje, and so on. I could also say fjerde, femte, sjette, syvende, but then it's not a trilogy anymore.